That's real good, yeah.
Pop that.
Tasty.
I don't know if I should play anything in the background because it is a video and this thing can upload audio or video upload support.
Can upload.
Shut up.
iCan has hamburger. iCan has cheeseburger. iCan has. Hi, we're podcasting.
Hi, we're podcasting.
You can take any noun and turn it into a verb. That's how the English language works.
Well, works for me. I don't know. Do you want to play a game?
I want to play a game. Oh
I
no.
want to play a game. Got 9 minutes to live. The key is inside Mike's belly. Go.
Honey, there's a key inside your belly. Can you take some laxatives?
It's not in stomach, or his bowels. It's just embedded in fat.
She's calling you fat now. Apparently, it's not in your stomach, which means me cutting your stomach open a little bit, there should be a key. Can you feel around for it? I've quartered a chicken. I know what I'm doing.
Right?
As Savage has said.
It's.
I have passed the knife practical. Now I don't have to use the stairs anymore.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's an abortion joke.
Ah, dark humor. God damn it, Savage. I don't know what to draw.
You don't know what to draw?
Nope.
I
kept thinking about Junior.
My suggestion is never going to be good. Because whenever I'm bored and don't know what to draw, somewhere, somehow, a little chibi penis with a top hat is born. Chibi penis in a top hat with some tea. That's usually what it is.
Oh, gosh.
And that was around the time that little penis, little stress toy thing came around.
Because apparently you weren't the only one.
Your name isn't on this podcast. You're almost bad as her boyfriend. Fucking. Hi, Reticent's here, and I'm with Koneko and Will of Horus.
This frickin' comes midway in the whole thing.
Right before I could do my little, hi guys, I'm here.
I do things.
I'm here! Like, attention seeking. As usual.
I thought you said as usual, and I was like, what?
As usual. You're like, it's true, but...
But damn.
I'm not supposed to.
You're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm. Getting a lot of food stuck in my crevices.
Maybe I could have some Sims playing in the background.
Sim.
I'll screen share with you so you can watch it too. If you care.
We're still on. We're still on this one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't gonna play Sims audio, so I was just gonna leave it neglected out. thinking
It's
about.
like, let me create a bunch of Sims and have them have full control over everything and just watch scenarios play out. And that is our background. Do 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 do.
Why not? Let's do that.
Do that.
I just have to get rid of it.
Are you sure you have to?
Yes.
Well, we've already had dark humor joke in. Does it really matter now?
Yeah. Why is your Sims nude, dude? Where'd the blue
Why?
box go?
Dude, I
What are
bought
they
a Sim.
doing having sex positions?
It's supposed to only be one under the blanket, like good Christian folk.
You know, that one law where you're only allowed to do it missionary.
In the under blankets.
Under blinkies. And somehow played Twister underneath. No, I should get rid of them.
My first Sims game that I got for, I want to say the GameCube, but I might be wrong. It was a while ago. It was my first Sims game, and I got it. And my stepmother took it away because my character hopped into the shower, and she said that there was nudity in it, and I couldn't play it.
Oh, there is sensory on it, and it's E for everyone, so...
I was not allowed to play Sims because my character
got naked
did not
into
shower in their
cubes.
clothes.
Well, do we shower
took
with
away-
clothes in real life?
Some people do. Apparently, she thinks all people in video games should. So that was my
Stupid.
first Sims experience. It was more mission based than The Sims is now. You know, where like you start off like in like your mother's place or your grandmother's place, a small little thing, and you have to learn how. It was literally like missions to learn how to do things, like read a book to cook food or you start a fire, literally.
Yeah.
Instructing you how to play Sims, so it's like one of the first few games or so.
PlayStation
And-
2.
No.
No.
It
No.
It had to be like, I only had the GameCube and Xbox,
Well, oh, yeah.
so
Okay, so the game was released on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. Yeah, so you're
Okay.
right.
so I had a GameCube one, and I didn't even get past trying to make it starting off, because it started off with you like in a hot tub, and then flirting with the dude, and then you wake up and you're at your mom's place. It was that hot tub thing was all a dream, and so you had to learn how to do everything, and I got to basically burning down the house and electrocuting my mother, and and when I went to shower, because it was one of the things you had to do, that made me lose the game. Like the game taken away and returned to the store.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I just wanted to pretend to live.
Pretend to live. Oh no.
There was a lot of bullshittery going on in that household, though. Living with my father sucked.
Oh, I bet.
Like, there was something on Facebook
See.
where it was just like, my child is my property. I can tell them what to do because they are my property. Anything they own is my property, and I can destroy anything they own when they displease me. And then it went, I'm the mature adult in this.
Yeah.
Was the last statement. And like, literally, middle school and high school, my father would threaten to set library books on fire because I would bring them home to read.
Gosh, it sounds like you have a Matilda situation.
Yeah, and then he was like, you can't read Stephen King. This was high school. You can't read Stephen King. If you bring another book, Stephen King book home, I'm going to light it on fire. I'm like, but I'm financially responsible for these books. I don't care.
Yeah.
Bring it home and I'll light it on fire. And I'm like, this is some grade A bullshittery. I mostly got grounded because I would read books.
I will read books. You're not part of this family.
I got grounded because I got like C's and D's, which D's is still passing. C's and D's because I didn't do homework, but I would also read in class, and my teachers didn't like it, and that's understandable. But when it came to test time, like when it was time to take tests, I would do really well on the test.
Excuse me.
And they're like, she's smart, but she just doesn't do her homework, which I procrastinated the shit out of that. It was my fault.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. But I knew the material, and the only complaint was is that I would draw or read in class. So, like, instead of, trying to use that to motivate me to do well, hey, if you do really well on this next test, I'll buy you a book. Or if you do good on this next test, I'll get you some art supplies. No, he just went, you did poorly on this test, I'm taking all your art supplies away from you. And I went, joke's on you, I stole this printer paper from study hall.
I have more where it came from.
I don't have to get these legally.
We
I
got
just
art
take
room
from
at
the
school.
I was a terrible fucking student. I was disgusting, to be honest, and I've grown a bit from there, but like I would take like the chocolate milk. I would take the chocolate milk and I'd be like, I'm smuggling this chocolate milk out of the cafeteria. And then I'd put it in my locker and forget about it.
Oh my gosh. That just reminds me of like kids always saying, like with the chocolate milk, they're like, oh yeah, chocolate milk has cow blood in it. And I'm like,
that's why it's it's better. It's better than Longinus's whole statement. He was
yeah, no. What's the point?
Oh, do you make chocolate milk? I'm like, no. I just feel like I have to explain that no, just because I have a different ethnicity than being white, I do not make chocolate milk. No. He's like, that if you had to explain that to someone, that'd be stupid. Like that's what my concern is, someone stupid enough to think that. No, I never heard about that. But my elementary school was a little bit darker than that, because my elementary school is in St. Augustine, Florida. Right near the St. Augustine Lighthouse, but also near the alligator farm. Great idea to have the alligator farm like less than 2 blocks away from an elementary school.
Perfect. Can you also see the screen share of Sims?
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, I'm gonna need...
I'm just talking so you don't have to think too much.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, I'm gonna have you create the first Sims here. And just
okay,
tell me what you want. Do you want a cult Sims? Do you want a supernatural Sims?
Want a half vampire, half mermaid.
Shit. Okay,
I want you to break the game again. Let's have, like... What's your supernatural options?
You got alien, vampire, mermaid, and spellcaster.
Which one haven't you had?
I've had them all.
I hate you. Which one's your least favorite?
I don't know, they all have their own kind of quirks. I mainly avoid
fuck.
human.
Alien.
Alien? Okay, let's do this.
Hey.
I'm uncomfortable.
You chose alien. Male or female?
Is that male?
That is a male with a gut.
They're fat.
And they are.
Okay, female. Chunky.
Chunky!
How come the dudes are just fat and the girls are chunky? They're thick. But, can they have hair?
Yeah, you can stick hair on them, and then they have their second human disguise form that we get to decorate too.
Oh my god. Okay,
You
we'll
chose
keep her
alien.
bald for this one,
Yeah.
and we'll just.
Do we want to randomize 3 times? See what we come up with real quick.
I kind of like what are we randomizing? Her look?
Yeah, the whole thing.
I kind of like it as is though.
Yeah, you like this face? You
Oh
like
yeah,
tiny
that
nose?
that
Oh gosh, cat.
yeah.
She knocked my freaking thing. Okay, well,
I'm still trying to get back to my story because now no one will understand what I'm talking about if I never get back to it.
alligators.
It was the alligator farm specifically. I just remember that one specific time because we had like this weird open field for quite a while in the back until like my last year in elementary school, 5th grade. Where they built a swing set, which was great because then now all the kids were thinking that they were going to launch themselves into the air and break their legs on impact. That was great.
Yes.
Tells you about the kids I was hanging out with.
All kids did that. Come on.
Yes. So what happened is that we were all standing in the back, and it was summertime, almost summertime. So it was like late May, early June, and we're standing in the back. It's hot, and someone's like, apparently a kid died back here. And we were like, oh yeah. And he's like, yeah, apparently this really dangerous poisonous snake escaped from the alligator farm and it's hiding back there somewhere. We're like, oh yeah. And then someone's like, oh, I see it go.
Freaking love kids, I swear.
And the weirdest thing is that there was an unnaturally cool breeze that blew by right when that kid said that they saw a ghost. It just got cold back there, and I'm just like, oh, we're fucked.
Oh, we're dead today,
But I also had a weird game I played with this one friend of mine, almost my only friend, in elementary school, where we would pretend to be like the first people like discovering Earth or something like that, and we were naming everything was the main thing.
Yeah.
And so we just looked like complete retards going like, oh, what's that in the sky? Oh, I think we'll call it the moon.
Yeah, I did that shit too. It was like
Right.
role playing, but we would play like supernatural creatures, and we had a rule where don't be too OP. You have weaknesses. If it's OP, then you're cheating. And it's like, yeah.
Well, that is cheating.
Well, yeah. Like I would play as usually like a vampire because I was obsessed with vampires. Still kind of am.
You still very much are.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Don't go kinda. You still are. You changed your fucking skin color.
Well, I'm picking which one I wanted to go with.
So let me get this straight.
You kept talking, so I need your opinion in life because I need. Your
I
guidance.
wanted to edit the human. I'll edit the human disguise. You get the alien part.
Okay, I can do
that. We were in this elementary school. I don't know if every elementary school is like this because I only went to one.
I went to several. I can tell you.
But my elementary school, 4th and 5th graders got to do extra stuff. And they were like electives that you could do in like middle school and high school, but they were kind of more creative than the middle school and high school electives I was in. One of them, which I knew which one I wanted, and what my elementary school did is that they took down the little ceiling tiles. They take them down and they'd let you color them and paint on them, and then they decorate the halls with them. Like really cool. And I wanted to do that. So I picked what I wanted to do, and I mispicked it. So what I picked was apparently making blankets for like homeless people or like elderly people. I can't remember which one it was. Where we just sew linings on materials and we made a blanket. Hated it. Didn't want, because I didn't want to do that. I wanted to paint the ceiling things. And so when I met that friend when in that little ceiling painting thing when I got it right the second time. And what our ceiling thing was Pikachu, Pichu, and Jigglypuff, but in a band. So like, I think Pichu was playing the drums and Pikachu had a guitar, and then Jigglypuff was singing. And they all had like bandanas or something. It was great.
Yeah, that's great having Jigglypuff singing. Just put everybody to sleep, including
because for some odd reason we put like Pikachu's the dad, Jigglypuff's the mom, and Pikachu's their child, which pretty sure that's not how.
Wasn't Pikachu a girl though?
The original Pikachu is supposed to be a girl. People can fight with the newer game and TV show logic, but originally Pikachu was supposed to be a girl. And I say that because if you ever played Pokemon Yellow version and also had Pokemon Stadium 2000, if you took the Nintendo 64 had this little back thing where you could put your game in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could use Pokemon from your game to battle in Pokemon Stadium 2000. Radical stuff. So if you took Yellow version and you put it into the back and you opened up or you turned on Pokemon Stadium 2000 and that was the only way you could check the gender of your Pokemon back then for yellow, blue, and green and all that.
Yeah.
It was the only way to do it. And every single time, my brother did this like 100 times. Every single time, Pikachu was female. Every single time.
You're not allowed a male Pikachu.
It was weird.
Just like the whole Blue Clues thing is everybody thought Blue was a dude.
But blue and magenta. The lesbian lover. Oh.
Together forever. I don't like this hair. It's too much. Really
that looks about right.
I like it. I don't know why. This is one of my favorite hairs, actually.
Yeah.
Can we do this to your hair?
No.
Throw out your hair and then put like metal right there and keep it there forever.
By all means, Red, you can brush it every day.
Okay.
Because I won't. That looks cute.
Okay. Kinda think that would look about, yeah.
So, what I am amused about is how I'm gonna go with stupid. How stupid little kids can be. In the specific set of how stupid how stupid I was as a kid.
Gullible.
That's a whole no. I had a teacher that loved turtles. It was my 5th grade teacher. 5th grade was a wild time. Best year, hands down. I had a 5th grade teacher. She loved turtles, and she was like a volunteer rescuer too for turtles.
Aww.
And my mom had gotten these little animal underwears, and one of them was turtles.
Oh no.
So I straight up told my teacher, hey, I have turtle underwear on.
She's like, proud?
That's cool. I'm like, oh, that was the stupidest thing to say.
Oh
like,
gosh.
I got turtle underwear on. Love me. And my teacher would be like, this
child. There's just so many things like in 2nd grade, I would have this. I was popular in 2nd grade. It was odd. Even numbers in my grades is when I was actually like popular. It was weird. Odds I would just have an off year. But like 2nd and 4th grade, I was just popular in the evens. And so 2nd grade, I had this girl where she would call me mom. And at first we started out as like role playing as vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And then role playing to be cats.
I remember doing that one too. I
And
know
then-
you weren't my friend back then. I know you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, I'm different. Pretty sure.
Secretly we knew. But just one of the things is like we would just like I would do like we had like tasks where like, hey, have a cloud picture and draw what you want to be in the future. And a lot of them were like, ooh, princess, or like a firefighter, you know, those kind of job futuristy things that they wanted to be. And mine
Yeah.
was a vampire princess.
Good stuff.
That's what I see in the clouds.
What do you see in the clouds? Me drinking hobo blood.
Me drinking blood.
I am royalty.
And like there was times where we had our principal well, I don't know if he's a principal still there, but was a
That's years ago.
way long time ago, was a black man, and
Oh.
my friend who called me mom was like pointing out like, oh, what is he and everything, and I was like, oh, that's a black man and all that, and my teacher comes up to me, hey, that's not polite. I'm like, I'm just stating that he I'm not saying anything mean, I'm just saying, hey, that's a black man, he's
That's
our chairman.
that's not nice, but it's the truth.
But it's true. And then like stupid things like so in 2nd grade I ended up dating.
Dating.
Quotations.
Yes, I remember that.
Dating.
Oh, let me tell you my dating
Air
experience after you're done.
So there was this one kid who, I was such a brave kid. I was so daring, I didn't care. But we would meet in the tunnel, and
Oh, yeah.
I would always give him a kiss on the cheek and then go away. And then in the lunchroom, he starts bragging to his friends and is like, oh yeah, I got like 18 girlfriends, and I have like high school girlfriends too. And I was angry, and I was like, no. And I was sitting there with my friends. I got up on the lunch table, and this was in the middle of lunch, obviously. And I got on the table, and I said, we're done. I'm breaking up with you.
Straight up.
And then I sat right back down, and everybody's like, what the heck? And he's like, oh, well, now I got 17 girlfriends. And I was like, oh, go
It went
over
down.
with that one.
Only one.
And then the
Like,
second... So this one's really ridiculous, like... But, so, his parents would babysit me, and...
Oh, that's awkward.
not the same guy, a different guy. His name was
Oh,
Jacob. His name was
don't say the name.
They
You
won't know,
bet.
there's so many Jacobs in this world.
There's so many Jacobs.
And,
Okay, go ahead.
But Jacob's parents would, like, watch me and everything, babysit me, and this was when, me and my mom lived above a ice cream shop. Fun days.
Fun days.
And, so, just one day we were hanging out, and then we kind of declared that we were dating, and, we
Oh.
kissed. It was technically
Oh.
my first kiss.
Oh.
Technically.
Oh.
And, then we told his parents. The same
so,
night.
So official. So official. Oh my god, you guys are speedy.
I know, right? And then, that week he ended up getting really sick. Like, he got nauseously sick, throwing up so much. And then later I got sick because I kissed him. And I was just like so dead. And then when we like met up again, and I was so mad at him for getting me sick, and I'm like, we're done, I'm breaking up with you.
Why? All you ever do is like,
You just got
breaking
me
up with you.
sick. You got me sick. You're not worthy now. It was.
He's just like, I got.
And
My
then
girlfriend broke up with me.
And then he was so confused, and he asked like why. And then like the next day we were playing in the playground, and it rained like at night. I freaking busted. I was standing on a bar, balancing like I was tight-roping across a metal bar, and my shoes slip and I did the splits, and I hit my cooch right on the bar.
Ooh.
It hurt. And I was like so mad. And he comes to me and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Fuck off," and kind of like, "Leave me alone." And I went home. I was like, "I don't need no money."
Nobody.
I was
don't
such a
need no
ridiculous
care.
kid. I was so gullible. Like, I remember my brother telling me like there was giant spiders where my grandmother was drying like peppers and stuff.
Well, that was probably to protect you from the fucking pepper.
No, he
don't
was
even
like
tell-
using examples like, you know Harry Potter's, you know the giant spiders? There's some in there. And I'm like, that's a small shack. Are you
That's
serious?
small
Have you
shack.
been in there? Can we go in there? He's like, "You want to die?" And I'm like, "Yes."
You want to die? Oh yeah, your brother seems like a fucking A-rate, fucking brother. No, my boyfriend experience was, I guess I was dating this one kid at like the YMCA down in Florida. And it was really weird because it was just us. Basically, it was like the rite of passage of us just being able to hang out. We just said we were dating, I guess. I don't know. It was really strange, and I got upset at him, and I didn't want to talk to him, and he was like trying to talk to me, so I just keep. We were in the pool at this point, because there was a big pool there, and I'd swim away from him, and he'd try to talk to me, and I'd swim away, and he'd send a friend to talk to me, and I'd just say, go away, I don't want to talk to him, and. The next day he wasn't there. He was trying to tell me he had to move. I wouldn't talk to him.
Too late now.
Goes my boy. Right? Like, where did he go? Oh, he had to move.
You're
Oh,
trying
no.
to tell you.
I was a bitch. Aside from that, I was like the weirdo of my class, so no one was really interested in me. It was like I was basically crazy. They had a game, which I realize now was mostly bullying, which is great. Always loved being bullied by all my classmates and being oblivious to what was going on. So the game would be specifically kind of like It, but I was always It, and everyone kept running away.
I played that
And
before,
so they-
but only towards guys. I would chase the boys. I was really rough. I like threw kids to the ground. I was mean.
We were practically the same person, but like I was slow and wouldn't catch anyone. But it was just so many people that I would always end up being near someone. And so there was this one kid that I thought was a complete mute, and he was also deaf, but he had like a hearing aid, and he used sign language, but he never talked. He only signed. And so he was playing this too, which kind of makes me even sadder because, boy, even the handicapped kid wasn't bullied as much as me.
Well, sometimes kids don't even know
That's rough.
that they're bullying, because I didn't know I was getting bullied at sometimes being called like a ghost and a leprechaun when I was a kid. Like, I was like,
Oh no,
I'm proud.
I didn't know that. I didn't know I was being bullied for quite a while. There's two different instances where now I'm like, oh, I was being bullied. But like they would run away, and And nothing really happened, I guess, if I did ever catch someone, because I'd still be it and just chase everyone down. So it's like Manhunt, but meaner.
Man,
um, and so what happened was I was close to this kid, this deaf kid, and I heard him wispily say, "Run away," and I was like, "I got him to talk." He could talk. He just didn't know how to speak very well because he was deaf most of his life.
well, yeah.
So I was like, I got him to talk. But the other time I was playing that one game with that one friend, like I said, with the drawing on the ceiling tiles at this elementary school. And we were playing this, the stupid game. So we're like down on the floor hiding under one of the desks. We were basically was set up in like one of the extra pavilions. It wasn't even like an actual like classroom. All our 4th and 5th grade classes were in pavilions if we weren't in kindergarten to 3rd grade. It's great, we got kicked outside basically. But we were in there in the extra one where they had the art stuff. And this one chick was just like, "What are you guys doing? Why are you weird?" And we're just like, "Hey, we're just trying to have fun here. we don't need this." And so I don't know what happened, but she kind of like got sassy with me and she stuck her finger out and she literally told me to bite her. So I did. And she smacked me. And I was confused. Didn't connect.
Freaking. So, I kind of had a similar experience. Not with like somebody like, "Oh, bite me so I can hit you," kind of thing.
She didn't think. I guess she thought that her basically telling me what to do was supposed to like intimidate me, and I wouldn't do it. But I fucking did, and scared her, and she slapped
So,
me. And then she ran to the teacher. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
So
all I did was do what she told me to do.
Yeah, she told me to. So I had I discovered that I didn't know it was technically a hickey.
Oh.
So as a kid, I would bite my arm and I would suck so much on my arm that I would get blood out of my pores.
Oh my god, Red.
I went too far with it. And so the weirdest thing is I did that to another kid. I told him I could get your blood out of your skin without puncturing your skin.
No. How much trouble
I did that to 2 people when I was younger.
Before you got caught.
No, I didn't. Never got caught.
Oh no, that's even worse.
I know. I did it to one kid. He's like,
"Oh
my gosh, that's weird." And then the second person I did it to, he's like, "Your gums might be bleeding." And I'm like, see?
No. I'm all good.
No, that's your blood.
I deeply hope some of these people we're talking about manage to find this fucking podcast and be like, "I remember you! You little shit!"
I was just a weird kid.
Aren't we all?
I'm technically... There was a 3rd kid I dated.
Damn it, Rick.
Around 3rd grade. He was such a sweetheart. We would play video games together. Like, he was a keeper as a kid.
He was boyfriend material.
Boyfriendy material as a kid. And then just... This was during tough times, and so everything kind of fell apart, and I ended up living with my grandparents, and we never spoke, so, like, after it, and so technically, we're technically still dating.
That's not how
we never ended.
We didn't officially end it. No, I have that joke, too. I've used that joke, too. I have a story.
You have a story?
We'll go back and forth with our stories. Continue.
Yes. Yeah, no, and like he had a little brother and everything. I would hang out at his house. I almost got the cops called on me, riding my bike around in the neighborhood.
Oh my god, you too? Mine
Yeah.
was racially biased, but yours is just, what's this hoodwink doing?
Abuser who's panicking. That's
Oh.
what happened.
God.
You know, wonder where'd you go?
Where'd you go? Where'd
Call the cops on me. Got mad at me for leaving the house.
Yeah. My mom got mad because I climbed on the fucking ceiling. Or I climbed on the roof of the house. She was less than happy, and I was terrified of. That's when I learned I was terrified of heights. I'm just up on the roof and can't get down.
Boys loved heights.
I hate it. But my story time.
Yes.
I forgot what we were talking about. I had a good story
Nonsense.
too. What was it? Fuck, I forgot. Oh no. What were you talking? You were talking about.
Blood and green people. Oh, I'm lost. I'm just here. That's what's
Fuck, I
happening.
forgot my story. It was a good one too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, basically, what happened is that my mom, she worked a lot, which it's questionable whether or not that big N word was thrown around or not, whether or not it's applicable to me, I don't know. But one of the days she actually had off and she was passed out because she worked a lot.
Yeah.
So she took a nap in her room, and my brothers got on the roof, and I followed suit. And so they, walked around a little bit, and then they got bored and went down. But I was still walking around on the roof, and then I sat down and was chilling out. And then my mom was like, basically went to my brother's. Where is she? And then my brother's like, oh, she's on the roof. What?
Right where we
She's
left
on the
her.
roof. And so, fear is a good motivator, by the way. Basically, my mom was like, come on down, get down here now, you're gonna get hurt, or worse, I might get in trouble. No, those weren't her words, but basically, yeah. Oh, I remember what I was gonna talk about. Oh my. But I was like, I'm too scared to come down, and the statement was, okay, but you got 5 seconds to get down, or I'm gonna go get a ladder and get you down. And I'm like, nope.
Nope.
Mom's not coming up here to get me down. And so I eventually got down by myself. I was terrified though. The other thing was getting in trouble for riding a bike, let alone around the neighborhood. Apparently, this is according to my mother. The people down in Florida, in the old city of St. Augustine, not going to say specifically where, because, well, I won't say the street, but in the Shores area, which is more or less, at the time, it was where the more wealthier, well-off people, which there's only one type of people apparently, that fit that description, lived.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not like, what is simply, diversity.
Mm-hmm.
To be more specific, they did not like 3 little half-black children running around their neighborhood.
Sorry for laughing, but redonkulous.
No, apparently, there was a confrontation where a grown adult wanted to, like, physically confront my brother, which at the time was only, like, 15 or so. That's pretty fucking sad. If you're a full-grown adult in your 30s or 40s and you want to harass a kid just getting off the bus, walking down the street to go home. This was the street we lived on.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't us walking down some random street, We lived on the street. It was a very nice house. It was a red and white house near the far end of the street. There was 2 bus stations, and it was like 2 different bus drivers, and we wanted to be with one specific bus driver.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. V. Always wore sunglasses, no matter what. He was real cool.
Yeah.
Always played at the time, it was like the modern hits. you know. So all the songs that I feel nostalgic with, which was mostly, you know, uh, I guess what was it, hip hop and and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those like what was it? With the apple bottom jeans and
Boots
those
with the
songs.
fur.
With the fur. Or
I used to
Get
dance
Low.
to this song.
Those songs.
Yep.
Yeah, those songs. Those were the songs on the radio. It's also where I first heard about the laser hair removal. That's when they were first starting that whole stuff. Woo! Middle school.
Middle school.
But we walked all the way down the street versus going to the other bus stop, and so people like literally got mad because we would walk by just on our way home.
I hate humans sometimes.
Yeah, or there was this one kid that reminded me, who he claimed to be the dude who was like, leave Britney alone. He claimed he was that dude, but he clearly wasn't. Just because he had blonde hair, he thought he would trick people into thinking that he did that video. It was some stupid shit, really. And so, he was one of the main. Yeah. He was just one of the people that instigated it because he had that kind of parent, and like it's just pathetic. All he wanted to do was go to school. You know, wild times. I completely ignored any of that kind of racial stuff, though. I didn't really think of myself any different than all the other kids, even though I'm half black. It was like
Yeah.
it didn't really matter because the truth of the matter is that racism is taught. No one is born racist. You are taught to be racist because kids don't care what skin color you are. They want to know why, and you can answer, "I don't know. I was just born this way," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay." Like it's the kind of golden thing of they ask it, they say it because they're pure. They just don't know. It's pure ignorance versus spite.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Like
So.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like in our history class, they taught us about like slavery and stuff. And when I was younger, I was such a dork, but I hated my skin color because of it. I was like, I hate my kind. I wish I was born black. Is my thought process as a kid, because it was like, how can people do that to other people? And I was like,
yeah. The irony is that it didn't start with just the Africans.
No, it didn't.
They just started with the Irish. With the British specifically, it started with the Irish. They had Irish.
Way before that. Everybody's been enslaving each other since war was a thing.
Yeah, but the British one, it's because the Irish and the Scottish, those two was the first ones to really fight back against that like Anglo-Saxon thing. They were the slaves first, and then they tried to enslave the Native Americans, and then they found like, oh, the Africans are more sturdy for what we need them to do. We'll just use them. Let's just import them. And I'm like,
well, they were also sold by, you know, their own people too. People.
Yeah, that's I tried to let. There was like some dude. He was black. It was over Facebook. It didn't really matter to me too much. I got upset because it was the pure ignorance of the whole thing. I hate ignorance when it's just I don't want to learn that versus I did not know that before.
Yeah.
But like they were trying to say that the white man just came in and just took all of them, and I'm like, you're telling me that people with a home field advantage just got captured because they had guns that weren't accurate. The guns were not accurate. But you're telling me the people with home field advantage lost. No, there's still slavery to this day in Africa. Africans enslaving Africans. Yeah. That's still a current problem. So you can't tell me back then they weren't like, oh yeah, we'll sell you the ones we've captured from our rival tribe. No, you can't.
Hell,
And
there's still
they
human
would
slavery
they
still to
called
this
me
day.
they called me a liar that I was lying about that.
No, man.
That I was brainwashed by white people. I'm like, this is still racism though. You're being racist.
No, it's an actual thing. Is people sell people because money speaks. Supply speaks.
Or the trade supplies speak. Yeah.
Things that people want or need speak the most, so they will get what they want through any means necessary if they go above and beyond like humanity thoughts.
Racism isn't just for, the white men against black men, or, people or whatever. It's all the way back. It's every single like any type of conflict. At some point someone was captured and used without any benefits, so basically forced into what is either indentured servitude, meaning you're not really going to escape, but you have the facade that you will, or just straight up slavery.
Like in war. Like, whoever went to pretty much, like, war. Like, the Romans, when they went to war, they ended up enslaving people. And then the people that were enslaved, depending on your hair color, if you were a woman, and the lady of the house would request your head to be skinned so they can wear your hair. And then they get compliments because, oh, nice lovely wig, I see you got a new slave.
What nice diversity you have there.
And guess what? Redheads were the high price.
Red, you're always a victim, huh, Red?
We are a victim.
I was talking to my mother, which is fully African American, more or less, I guess. I mean, we're all a melting pot at this point. What can be fully African American? She has. Yeah. Eventually. So I was talking to her about certain things, and what I was talking about is I have some friends on Facebook, that one specifically that always shares this, like, imagine this movie but with an all black cast, so only black people. I'm like, but why? I understand, yeah, this actor would be good, I guess, but like, why are you emphasizing everyone is black?
It's just like
they did it with Harry Potter. They did one of them was Harry Potter, and I'm like,
it's just like this instant where I had a dream that was a ginger Nazi dream.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that, and I'm still pretty sure that it was actually like a weird alien broadcasting to all the redheads, like, this is our future. Get ready.
like I just had that dream, and it was weird. Like, the dream pretty much.
You saw another redhead you knew in that dream.
Yeah, no, somebody we knew at Job Corps. But like, how the dream went is that gingers took over the world, like everything, and if you had the ginger gene, they would extract the ginger gene from you and then execute you, because then you have no use. And then if you were half ginger or pure ginger, half gingers were usually sent to war or like to other things that were needed. Same with some pure gingers, but pure gingers were mainly used for breeding. And so you had at least to have one child if you were a pure ginger. And I was one of those pure gingers because my DNA said I was a pure ginger.
So fucking weird.
And so I ended up in a breeding chamber, which sucked because they observe you, and you get placed in with a stranger, and you have to get pregnant whether you are raped, like beaten into it, forced to, or whatever. You have to be pregnant. Because we want a ginger army.
But
like I said, it was just a terrible dream. And so the other ginger that I knew was across the cell from me, and these were like advanced cells.
I remember. I think I know which one you're talking about. The ginger you're talking about. I remember him now.
Yeah,
go on. But sorry, I was trying. Wait, you said someone we knew at Job Corps. Who is that? Oh, I remember it now. No, we're good.
Hopefully, I'll confirm with you and see. But
no,
so
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him Star Child, and if you got the reference, then
Yes,
say
yes,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, Star Child.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So, so our cells were like just like clear glass, but they were able to get like tinted or one way or ridiculous. But and so he was on the other side, and he was in the same breeding chamber, but with another chick. And he knew the dude that was in the cell with me from his high school, and he was like, no, and he fought to switch to my cell, and he's like, I'll take her, I'll you know. And so I ended up getting pregnant in the dream, and we ended up escaping and living off of the wilderness and stuff. And then I woke up, so I don't remember what happened.
You're like, huh? What a weird dream.
What a weird dream. Fucking love dreams.
Yeah. They're real great. I still love my Five Nights at Freddy's dream.
Oh.
Just imagine Five Nights at Freddy's at home. Buy your own. It wasn't full life like. It was like, well, it had a weird thing where it came as about the size of like a 10, 11, maybe 12-year-old child. So life size up to a child.
Oh, wow.
But then it would, like, when it was activated, it would actually kind of like grow and be like a full animatronic. It was fucking terrifying. And there was different settings. So basically the different nights, but they were settings. And so fucking, this kid that I was with, like, put it on the first night, and all I remember is being chased like around this living room. That was like the living room I had back when I was first living with my father in Jacksonville, Florida. We were looping around this table, and I had like a plastic cup, and eventually I tossed it, and apparently it's like movement, had like a movement sensor, and so it chased after the cup and left us alone, and then we survived the night, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, hey, let's do the second setting. Like, let's do the second difficulty. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I look down the hallway and I just see Foxy just like, are you gonna do it? And I'm like, fuck no, let's not. Let's not.
I know I'm your favorite.
You know you love me.
Okay,
So
hey,
I was
human side.
dreams are great. Okay, I went to my games, if you know what I mean. Wink wonk.
Wink wink wonk wonk.
Let's fix the hair.
See, I don't really like this hair.
Let me see her face. Her face looks fine. It'll just be the hair and the clothes. Yes, let's give her the clown hair. She knows how to be human. That's not the clown hair, and you are insulting me so much. There we go.
How am I insulting you? That's a beautiful hairstyle. Be quiet, you.
I said clown, and you went for that one. That's why.
No.
Do not insult me. Okay, let's be realistic with this hair.
Yeah. She's trying to disguise herself as a human on planet Earth. Thank you. Do you want long hair, medium hair, or short hair?
Medium.
Yep. There's all your meads.
Unless that weird hairstyle that you wanted me to have is in there.
What?
The mohawkish
mohawk?
puff. Yeah. That is normal hair. Yes, that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Beautiful. Let's get her clothes,
outfit.
yeah. Why does she look like a wannabe schoolgirl?
Because I clicked on the first one here.
Damn it, man.
She prepared for the
This is
lesson.
clearly an adult.
What? I don't know.
She is clearly an adult.
She is college age. This is what outfit they came with the university.
Ew.
Fetishes, anyone?
Fetishes, anyone? Fed fishes, anyone? She seems to like it.
She looks like a Velma.
Velma? You have to proper Velma her up then.
yes, on her planet she watched Scooby-Doo and she's been inspired by Velma.
Yeah, wait until she meets the actual vampires and witches.
It's like, you exist.
Like, are you sure you're not people in masks?
Can I pull your face off?
Hurry.
Yibs ishi.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
let's
like
go
it?
with that.
Proper,
Okay.
elegant, nice. Do you want a second outfit or just this one?
Uh,
I like varieties. I'm sorry, I'm an issue.
well then let's do variety. We'll just have this Sims scenario playing whenever we do podcasts, I guess.
Why not?
Uh,
Maybe invite my
Oh.
hybrid.
oh,
What?
one of the turtles is trying to escape.
Oh no!
Like trying to break his neck, trying to get up and get out of the
Is
water.
that what
and
that
out of-
tapping noise is?
I'm pretty sure that is them
Well,
moving the platform accidentally. The scraping noise is definitely them.
No, I just hear the tapping of glass and water together.
Yeah, no, that's just them rocking the. Yes, that.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that. Green looks good on her. No.
No.
Plus, I want to change the hair.
I think more natural colors would be better.
Yeah. Trying to not just have her hairstyle up like that all the time.
The one below it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Oh. It looks nice, but it's really gingery.
Well, I'm sorry, only you're allowed to have red hair.
It's just the hairstyle. Sometimes they come offsetting.
Black Starfire is disappointed in you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I actually like the top. It looks kind of
Yeah.
alien-y, but like modern-y.
Okay, whatever you say.
Quiet you.
Whatever. You're just mad because I'm right. Sure you don't want to take over? Because
This is
me
first.
designing any of this is not working out.
It's you're not saying nothing. Go. I thought you liked the top. You were agreeing with me.
Yes, I like it.
Hey.
Are we deciding on the pants? Because yes, that would be better.
These
Not a
pants?
skirt. Yes, pants.
Yeah, I was.
Pants would
thinking...
be better, not a skirt.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking skirt.
Okay.
Communicate with me. Okay.
No, you. No, you. The reverse Uno card. No, you.
No, you. Just have a bunch of reverses in your hand. No, you.
Yeah. No, you. This turtle is. Oh my god, the turtle that tried to escape is being more or less kind of mounted, but more like this turtle is trying to be able to get out of the water and trying to use the smaller turtle to do it, but literally this turtle just no-you'd it, and now it's climbing on top of the other turtle.
Oh yeah.
No, you.
No, you.
It's like
I find good pants.
good pants. That's good pants.
I do.
I do.
I do. No, I was just. No, I don't like her legs. Thicker.
Make them thicker.
I'm a thick.
I like them thick.
I don't
like a
know what
poorly
it is
made-
with me and making thick thighs.
Because
I
you have a
like-
thick thigh fetish.
Probably.
Probably. I need thick girls in my life. Thick.
I am a thick girl.
No, you.
No, you. I like it. It's cute.
Yeah.
Should give her some earrings.
We got pajamas next or something?
Workout.
You know she's not working out. Self-improvement be damned.
Self-improvement. Who needs it?
Who needs it? Some people on here apparently they have a self-improvement podcast.
Right?
No,
I
you.
can't believe that was an option.
I can, Mrs. Non-Profit.
A proof.
Oh, look, they have a non-profit option. Pretty sure that's not what it says. That's how it's spelled, yes, but that's how you spell profit.
Thanks for making fun of me.
Early feelers.
My feelings are hurt.
You know what happens when people hurt feelings? People end up dead in a ditch. Creep. Okay, what are we looking at for workout outfits?
That's what I did as a design so far.
I like it.
It's simple. I just love the little heart.
Midriff.
Oh, wrong one.
I need to see some belly when they
Look
work.
at her party outfit. Very.
I
fun.
mean, I like it.
It's very vampire-esque. Change the shape.
That's why she's nom nom. So,
Yeah, I wanted to brighten up her boots, but there doesn't seem to be a pink.
why would you want pink? She's wearing purple.
That's pink-ish purple.
Red.
Want me to be technical? I will find the color.
I'm sorry, but you called purple pirate. What was it? Burger pirate. That was your boyfriend's little thing on Gang Beasts. Pink. You said it was purple. Or no, you said it was pink and it was purple, and I'm only slightly disappointed.
I'm sorry,
Hey.
my screen shows me certain colors. Just go with it.
Go with it. I can't let you live this lie anymore, Red. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Unconditional love means that you agree with me unconditionally.
I do like the gold.
Yes,
Yeah, I like the gold.
that is very good. Very good.
Anyways, back to your sleepwear. You're not wearing tights with your sleepwear, young lady. No?
Why does that look like just a dress?
A nightgown thing.
Does not look like a nightgown.
Yes. She's
Now you need to
influenced
put-
by TV. Joking.
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know what she's wearing glasses. I don't know. We'll browse through. These
That
are
one
just
looks nice.
these are just all the ones that are like there's
Okay.
the full outfit jammies.
Obligatory bathrobe.
Bathrobe. I've never went to sleep in a bathrobe.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to take it off before going into bed. Which they will not.
Nope.
It's okay, you'll just be wrong.
That looks cute.
Yeah.
Got that one. Green looks good on.
Yeah, let's just do that one. Best of all worlds.
What, this one? Or this one?
That one.
The
Girl,
fancy
you know what I'm talking about.
sleeper. Fancy sleeper.
And you get that fancy.
Sabiba. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah? Think it's cute?
Yeah. Yes.
Uh-huh. Ishi no.
Dun, 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 dun,
Summer outfit.
Yeah.
You're so easy.
Well, yeah, because I only ever do 1 or 2 outfits and then I call it good because I never really pay attention to whether or not they go swimming or whatever. Kind of looked pregnant there for a second.
What?
Oosh.
The way she like turned a certain way, she almost looked like she was like doing that little "I'm pregnant" kind of sideways showing
No.
Yeah.
like that.
Whatcha?
But yeah, good.
Back to Alien Form. Did you see all of her outfits on Alien Form?
No.
No. This was a debate one. No. Or about it. Designed her a cat one.
Kitty.
I like that one more. That'll be her main one for. And this was her spacey one.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't sure about the color.
Looks good. Matches her eyes.
She has blue swirlies.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
And she has a
Oh, no.
regular alien outfit.
Oh no.
For tradition.
For tradition.
Tradition. That's her workout outfit.
Nice.
The genies.
Jims. Yeah.
And that was. There's her outing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And then her swimsuit. And here's her warm outfit.
I remember seeing that one.
And her cold outfit is kind of similar to her other cold one, only minus the hat and the shoes. And pink.
Yeah. And okay.
What
Are you
should
doing
her...
another character?
I was gonna do a cat.
Okay.
And then we'll just get into the game because character design takes forever.
For you.
Yeah,
Boy.
because I'm picky. Anyways, what should her
Your turtle tried to escape.
goals be?
The one that wants to try to escape.
Senpai, pay attention to me.
Cat mom, pay attention to me. Ma! Let's see. Being an alien, what do you think it would be?
What would you
What?
think she inspires to be? Like,
She wants to fit into the human world, so what do you think that would entail?
Insta
do you mean?
actress.
I thought you were talking to me.
Hmm?
I thought you were talking to me.
No, why'd you touch me? No, it's mine. Anywho. It could be like family, it could be love related.
Yeah, because let's hypothetically think about like her story. She's just now got on Earth, and she's
Oh.
only seen the humans through movies.
Okay, that's what you're going with.
What were you going
Yes.
with?
I don't know, you're the creative one between the two.
You're creative too. I just create backstories for everyone.
Can I purchase one of your backstories?
I can brainstorm with you.
You're like, you're gonna have to put some effort in here. I don't wanna. Give me story.
Give me stories. But
Well, if you had to only have like, she's only seen TV shows, but like maybe has she only been able to have access to one channel?
that would be a challenge.
Well, if not, then like what does her race offer or don't offer that would draw her to wanting to come to Earth?
Well, maybe she did like a crime or something, and so she got banished to Earth or something like that. Or they have a secret mission where they're trying to breed with humans to create hybrids to blend in with humans.
Well,
Little
if that's
do
the
they
case,
know.
then you would do love.
Little
we know
do
what.
they know is that or the hybrids collect their skin color, and so they wouldn't be able to blend with humans very well. But they don't know that, so she's the first test.
So then it would be her goal would be love, something love related.
Love. So, several romantic
Is it several or serial?
serial.
Like serial killer, serial romantic.
The Sims wants to play the field and go on dates with all sorts of interesting people. And then next
That
one's
would be
soulmates.
a good one. No, I think the serial romantic would be better.
Yeah.
It fits the theme more.
Yeah.
Serial romantic.
So I'm going to. I want to give her at least one negative trait and 2 good traits.
Okay. Let's do the negative one.
Okay.
Like that's easy.
Most of my Sims usually end up with klutzy. But I'm klutzy.
Mm.
But
A different one.
maybe she's eclectic. Because she's so interested in humans.
Yes.
This is why she volunteered, and so the things
Yes.
she just ends up snatching things all the time. Okay, that's a good one.
It's a good one. Kleptomaniac.
She's a klepto.
Alien.
So what would be her positive traits?
Ambitious, maybe, if that's a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, ambitious.
Ambitious, and maybe make her a vegetarian. Is that a positive trait? Ooh.
I think that's a neutral trait.
Yeah. Maybe she's a goofball because she doesn't understand like she's like oddly outgoing because she doesn't know like the boundaries of humans exactly.
Okay.
And so it can be positive but sometimes negative or something. Like she acts childish or something.
So do you want to be what is it?
I don't know.
Childish or goofball?
Childish, these Sims gain powerful moodlets from watching Kids Network, being playful when playing with children, or become happy when playing with children toys. Goofball, these Sims tend to be playful. But cheerful.
Let's do goofball.
These Sims...
Cheerful?
These Sims tend to be happier than other Sims.
Let's do goofball.
Goofball?
It would help more with the flirting scene.
Yeah, because she's not looking for romance, she's just reading. What would her name be?
Let's name her the same thing Elon Musk named his son.
What?
Nothing. That's too much of a joke for you.
I don't know the son's name, this is why.
It's
Know nothing about this joke.
It's okay, Red. You don't have to. Basically, it's apparently a name that is written in code, and the name is pronounced Kyle, but it's written like X A, the A with attached to the E, and then da 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 da. It just looks really weird. There's a 12 in there, by the way.
Poor kid.
Poor kid. Poor kid.
Your life's a code.
What you get? What you get for getting? Okay, so let me just do what I usually do to do names. You can't steal it. What do you want the name to start with?
What's the most common name that is used?
That's a completely different search result. Okay. You want a common name?
Well, I don't know. She's coming to Earth, and her real name's not going to be used, so she's using a fake name.
Fine then. I hate it already.
You have P's and Q's. Come on.
What do you mean P's and Q's?
What I mean is you have an opinion. You can toss in what you want. This is not just my Sims. It's also yours. This is a team effort.
You could also go with the space theme, like Aurora, like the Aurora Borealis, or Nova, or...
I like Nova. Nova's
Okay then.
Okay. Stop being so easy. Side one.
I'm an easy girl, what can I say?
Nova.
It would be funny if it was like one of those people with two first names, so the last name sounds like a first name.
We can't trust you.
What like Nova Charlotte.
Nova Charlotte?
Yeah. They don't quite pick up the first name, last name thing, so they use two first names for the name.
I forgot how to spell Charlotte.
Charlotte. Where did I lose you?
Charlotte. Right?
Yeah?
Oh. Nova Charlotte. Okay. Cool. We'll give her a cat because she got obsessed with cats.
Sounds good. Can this cat also be an alien?
We will make it a colorful cat.
No!
She made a robot cat. I know what I'm doing. She has a tin cat.
Cruelty. Cruelty. Feed me. Feed me. Bowl is almost empty. Feed me. Feed me. Error. Error.
Error. Do we make the cat... Do we want to choose a breed for the cat and then just...
Yeah, long-haired metal cat.
Long-haired metal cat. Makes sense. Where is the biggest, poopiest cat?
Was that a raccoon?
Yes, that is a raccoon.
That's not a cat.
He's under the cat family. Like the dogs, there's a fox.
Well, that's because the fox is technically part of the kid.
Oh, barrel.
They've worked on the face so well, but they still can't get fur texture right. Great.
Let's go.
So about that fur.
About that fur is becoming metal. Where'd my team cat go? Hello, cat. Hello.
You're so close to it too.
Stitch cat. What's this one again? Oh, yeah, no. I like my metal cat idea. Fur.
Change the eyes.
Yeah, we'll change the eyes. The poofiest fur
Fat cat. It's just a fat cat.
Fatty. There
It's
you
just a fat metal cat. Oh, look at the chub legs.
Chub
No.
There you go.
Mm.
The fur
Okay.
furs.
Change the eyes.
Do we want two different color eyes or same color eyes?
Two different color eyes is good.
He looks like he's intelligent and sassy.
All cats are intelligent.
No, I mean like he's
Should
like the
be.
boss of the house.
Is there any way to make eyes look like they're glowing? Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
There's some good
A
stuff
bright
right there.
blue and a bright yellow. There you go.
There's some good stuff right there. Yes, very
Oh. And she sees this on shows, and so she gives him clothes.
Metal cat, get close.
He has a bell. He has
Bell
a
or
bow tie
bow?
bell. It's a bow bell.
Oh, I see the bell.
Yep, he has a bell.
It
on.
blended into its metal.
I wish I could change the color of the bell, but I can't. Give him a red bow tie.
She just rolled his eyes.
Yep.
It's a male or female cat, actually.
It's female. Let's make him male.
Ooh. Oh.
Or do we want a female?
No, it's fine. Like, didn't realize you're supposed to put bows on male cats and not female cats. Supposed to, in quotes.
Well, like she'll have to get the cat spayed, or we'll have like breaded cats. Some
Mechie cats.
necky cats running around.
I love me some cyborg cats.
Cyborg kitty.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have female.
We're still doing the podcast, right?
Yes.
Oh Lord, they just had to force us to watch this whole thing. Sorry, we're good at this. First episode of Chaos. Meow meow. Meow meow.
I think that's good. Okay, your traits. He is a loaf. He doesn't really need. She doesn't really need an owner to.
Per se.
These cats don't really need an owner. These just here for the free food. They're just here for the.
Hi.
I'm gonna have the cat Clever because it's a robot cat.
I always make mine non-destructive because fuck you. That's why.
I have a loafed, Clever, and free spirited. So that's what I have.
We gon' die tonight.
Maybe lazy.
Mecha kitty.
Lazy
That's
Mecky
good.
Kitty. Fuck life. I'm just here for the enjoyment. Anyways, what should we name Mecha Kitty?
Tin Can.
Tin.
First name Tin, last name Can.
Can.
We'll start this life.
So mad the cat looks. Just like, no.
No touch.
No touch. You designed me to be here. I'm here. Okay. What area should we have the cat? Oh, what season do you want to be in? Winter, fall, summer, spring.
Is it perpetual?
It changes.
Better not be. Okay. Spring.
Start at the beginning.
Where would an alien fit in?
Strangeville.
I knew you would. I was like, let's go for the desert one.
Either thinking like a city life because that's with most people, or I don't know.
City.
City?
You wanna populate, you gotta populate, big populate.
Yes. Good school and twins. That is what this apartment looks like. This one's taken. Then you have this one, which is... You have that apartment, which is one bedroom, which is historical and haunted.
Yes.
Do you want historical and haunted?
I want haunted.
Well, I can change traits and things if you want. It has 3 bedrooms with penny piskies and gnomes.
Did I mention haunted?
I'll go with this one. Because there's twins, I can change the good school into haunted.
Twins. Oh, fertile earth energy. I see now.
Yeah. Meant for breeding! Plus I like the purple couch. Yay!
So when does she change into the...
Oh, we'll put her in her disguise, right? Yeah, disguise yourself. There you go. I don't want to empty out this room until she has kids, but we'll just...
Well, when she has kids, she needs a crib, so...
So we'll just stick 2 cribs out here.
All kids. Every kid.
Kids. Okay, what kind of career would she join? Let her look that up. Also, I need to buy cat stuff. Give her a second. She's looking at her phone. There you go.
I miss playing Sims.
So,
which gives her more access to more people? Actress really would. She's already kind of acting in the note itself, so all she has to do is act more.
yeah, inspired to be the movie star. All the movies that
Astronaut would be ironic.
yeah, it'd just be like, why are you back? My job.
Critic would be hilarious.
I don't like your...
What do you mean?
No, not I meant for the critic comment. Sorry, I was just making comments for...
I don't like your ideas. Red, you wanted me here.
Those are part-time jobs. She could also be a doctor, meet people there too. Lots of people at the doctor's office.
True.
So it's debate between doctor or actress for the playable ones.
For actresses, it's almost like what is it? It's almost a stereotype for them to be promiscuous. You know?
She's gonna steal a lot of things off a set.
Oh yeah, that is. Well, she's gonna steal a lot of stuff at the doctor's office. That's potentially more dangerous.
Criminal.
Yeah, do it. Criminal fits too.
Oh, which one should we do? On a serious note.
I mean, the criminal, she's already a kleptomaniac. She might as well. Tough gal. Mobster.
Yep, and then just make her either the oracle or the boss. The boss gets paid more, so. Criminal. Yeah, because she doesn't have any education towards anything, so criminal would make sense. She gets into things that she doesn't understand.
Just like she starts stealing stuff off of her own shelf. Whoops.
Oh no. How'd this get in there? Guess I wasn't looking. I'm going to get her.
Mecha Cat does not need food.
Mecha Cat does not need things. Why are you buying things?
Mecha Cat does leak oil.
I wish your bathroom was a little bit bigger. Unpleasant, right in the middle of the kitchen. That is the cat's corner.
You'll need a scratching post. Or cat tower, that works too. If they can scratch the cat tower anyway.
I can, but I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna buy a scratching post too. There you go. She's decked out for the world. Talk to Mecha Cat.
Talk to
Oh,
Mecha
yeah.
Cat. Here
The
is your
harmless
mission.
way.
Get me another cat.
Get me kitties.
Like, I can't have my 6 slots filled up with kittens. How dare you?
Let me out. Let me out.
Wild times.
Schedule that for an hour. Love? Offer friendship is the best. Fill up cat bowl, run away back to the cat. Friendship? I will accept you. I am the boss here. Oh no. Come on, lay down. You heard cat.
Freaking turtles. Well, now there's pasta everywhere. I remember. I'm going backwards in from one of our conversations. I don't know.
That's fine.
I remember talking to my mom about how
Stop it.
you know, they wanted to do the black Ariel, and I was like, that's a little confusing to me. Like, why are they doing that? Are they doing that because the actress would be really good for the role? Or are they doing it just because, you know, she's black and that'll appeal to a certain, you know, demographic? Because, you know, the whole hype of this but black. Everyone like, yeah, we like that. Because people got mad eventually when Robert Downey Jr. when they found out that he in Tropic Thunder he did blackface, but like he was really good at the part. There's certain lines that only Robert Downey Jr. can fucking do.
Like, yeah.
And so like, and then my mom said that she's big into kung fu movies, and she's like, I was watching a kung fu movie, and it took me a while to realize this, but there's a little boy, it was like a Bruce Lee movie, and the little boy character was actually performed by a girl.
Yeah.
There was a little girl. They shaved her hair off for the part and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because she did more of a gymnastic like karate thing. But why like are you saying like women can't play a male role, or is it just one race can't play another race role? What's the difference was what my mom was trying to say. Like, what is the difference if one is okay, why isn't the other one okay? Isn't it more important of who can play the role versus we need this specific ethnicity to play this specific ethnicity? Kind of seems like racist in and of itself. Like, if this person can do the role, then they better fucking do the role. It makes sense. Like they had I believe his name was Michael Duncan. I can't remember it 100%. You watched The Green Mile?
No, I actually have not.
Well, to be honest, me either. But there's an iconic character. He's the big gentle giant. He was accused of murdering 2 white girls, and he was a big, quote, brutish black man. So they sentenced him to death. And that actor, he actually played Kingpin in one of the Daredevil movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Originally,
I know what you're talking about.
now you do. Okay, so Kingpin originally, the character is he's a heavy heavy set white man originally, but because that actor was practically born to do the role, he got the part. It matters like if you're able to do it
Yeah, like
properly.
sorry, I love that actor. It's sad he died, but
Yeah.
like I haven't seen The Green Mile, but there was other movies I seen him in, like with Bruce Willis. So
Yeah, it's just the Green Mile is one of his iconic ones
yeah,
because
with Tom Hanks in it.
he really did portray that character and setting beautifully. And so it doesn't really matter what race you are as long as you perform that part.
Yeah, it's more of the quality of the part instead of taking it like a personal vendetta towards it or just a vendetta towards it anyways. If you can play the
Well,
part.
it's like the cultural appreciation people, where they're like, you can't do that because you're basically insulting this culture by doing it.
It's like
And
that whole
when you
dress incident.
huh?
It's like the whole dress
The
incident.
prom dress one where
Yeah,
like
where it was like
you can't wear a Chinese dress to prom. You're making fun of Chinese people or culturally appropriating Chinese dress, which I mean they don't really wear it that often anyway. I mean it's like a movie trope or like a stereotype at this point,
But the
which
previous
is
owner,
almost as disrespectful.
yeah, the previous owner gave it to a pawn shop. It tells you how much they actually cared about that dress in the whole sense.
Or in the sense that the dress didn't mean as much as whatever they needed the money for.
Yeah, and so somebody.
It's a piece of clothing. It's not going to, you're not mocking or whatever a culture by wearing a piece of clothing unless you are doing it specifically to mock them. But there was this one, it was a little girl who wanted to do, I think, I can't remember if it was a Japanese or Chinese, I can't remember specifically. But she was doing like a tea party, a traditional, I can't remember which one it was, but a traditional tea party. And she learned the technique. She learned, how you're supposed to present everything. And even if it was just for her and her dolls, she wanted to do it correctly, and she was dressed up and everything. And people got mad. And I'm like, this little kid studied everything so that she would do it correctly. If you study something so you do it correctly, that's not appropriating anything.
Yeah.
It's not doing something to mock that. That is showing like
that they appreciate, what has
your
been created.
appreciation.
And
Yeah,
they took their time to learn about it because they admire and appreciate the culture, and it's like, why bash them if they're more of complimenting and showing
if they're respecting it
and respecting your culture.
Why
Yeah, shut them
then
down?
they
Because
had
oh, sorry.
no because go ahead.
Because like there is, I watched this one YouTuber who she is a ginger. She's a pasty white ginger who lives in Japan. And she, and they do celebrations because she is married to a man who is Japanese and everything, and so like she does the traditions and everything that they do, celebrate their days. She follows the cultures and everything, and so are you gonna bash a white person for following your cultures in your country?
Well, no, it was because it's all it's in America that it's obviously cultural appropriation.
So if your race is in our country and they're celebrating the same tradition, are you gonna
it's
tell them
almost
are they
reverse
abusing it?
racism. It's someone's doing something outside of their own culture because they're interested in that, and someone saying you can't do that because you're not of that culture. And the problem is that we as people should be able to express interest, and we should express interest in other people's culture to
I
understand them.
love a lot of people's cultures.
Yeah, because they're all
Obsessed.
fucking interesting. I mean, when you look at like America, we Americans are considered stupid, but we don't lack our own culture, albeit most of it's pretty fucking stupid. As in, like, the way we got it was pretty fucking
Great
stupid.
supporter.
I watched Oversimplified, I'm sorry, and I was watching the Civil War, and that was some stupid shit. Um,
I'm more curious about,
it
you
was
know, the urban legends, mythologies, and stuff like that, and like religions and what we do prepare for like some cultures and some things. And yeah, some things I don't really understand why do we do them, or some things that like are
the more
not
the
necessary.
obscure traditions, the obscure traditions. You know, like why when you sneeze do we say bless you?
I just do it out
Like,
of,
is it?
you know, being nice.
Well, but why is that nice?
Just in case if you die.
Well, no, it was a belief that when you sneezed, part of your soul would escape, and it was you had to bless someone so that, like, evil spirits or demons or whatever would not, like, crawl up the nose to take the
Well,
place of part of your soul.
how do
That's
demons
what they
enter
would.
people? Through any port.
What the?
Like most,
So
okay, so like the Exorcist, the one Exorcist movie, how the demon entered her was through her vajayjay.
uncomfortable. I'm moving on from
The
that because there
evil,
was something I
but
wanted to say that I didn't want to forget.
okay, say.
No, but so I said the example of Sony had a presentation and they had this man. He played this instrument. I can't remember what the instrument is called, but I know it's a very intricate, very complicated instrument to learn, let alone actually play. And so someone got mad and then was like, why didn't Sony find a Japanese person to play this instrument? Why did it have to be a white dude, basically? And was like, this is cultural appropriation, Sony, shame on you. And then a Japanese person said, this is so and so. He is one of the only masters, the people who mastered playing this instrument. This isn't, it's not like he picked up this instrument and learned it in 5 minutes. He spent his life dedicated learning this fucking instrument. Of course, Sony's going to get someone who knows how to play it, who's like one of the best people to play it. It doesn't matter what race he is. He played it, and he played it with respect because he respected that instrument.
Yeah.
And so it's something like that. Or my mom mentioned that just fairly recently, um, uh, I guess a white woman or someone, American woman or something like that, was finally approved to become a geisha. Um, and so you know what a geisha is, right?
Yes, I do.
And my mom's like, I don't understand why you would want to be that, but whatever. And I'm like, because it's not like an escort, like just a basic escort service.
Oh yeah, no.
Geishas have to learn very specific things. They have to learn how to sing. They have to learn how to dance. They have to learn how to play instruments. They have to learn politics and different topics. I mean, in the end, you know what you have to
The
do.
one thing is that I also learned besides, you know, geisha, because I was like, oh my gosh, geishas are like so cool. But, you know,
Mhm.
they also get, you know, sold for a highest bidder when they're virgins and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, a little less okay. But more what I forgot what the name was, but it's more like something that you would want to be more than just a geisha, but they dress up kind of geisha like, but they're different. I forgot what it's called. 1 second, I'll look
I
it
don't
up.
know what it's
Continue.
called, so good luck. But it's something like finally she was able to learn how to do it. Like she was accepted and being able to do it. That was outside of the original, culture, and I'm like, see, that I personally feel like that's a good thing. That's progress moving towards, you know, a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Because when you have something that's usually closed, and then they're like, okay, we will open this up, and outsiders can learn it. That is where you can appreciate it fully. Where if you're someone who thinks that a culture should remain in that culture, that's racist.
Yeah.
That's like saying, like, back when they said that like whites and blacks couldn't mix breed, you know?
Yeah, right?
Whites should only be with whites, and blacks should only be with black, and their culture should be separately. That is a racist statement. And so if you're saying that only Japanese people can be geishas, and only they can make anime in that anime style, that is racist. And it's a very negative mind frame, in my opinion, to have.
Yeah.
Because everyone should be able to dabble and look into these other cultures, and if they really like something, they should be able to pursue and learn about it. And not be, treated like shit because they showed interest in something that wasn't their own culture. Because
Right.
that's how you keep people divided, by saying you can't learn that and you can't share that experience with anyone else outside of your people. It's just, I feel like it's wrong. But like I said, when I was growing up, I didn't see myself any different than anyone else.
Neither did
And
I.
we're not any different than anyone else.
Technically, you're not. We all die.
I mean, the Japanese are weird, but I'm sorry. The Japanese are a bit weird.
Oh, they do a lot
Because
of like good horror stuff. I give them respects for this.
they are almost the masters of horror in and of itself. But there's a lot of things to fear when you're a small island. But yeah, I love the mythology of different cultures and stuff. I took deep interest in Greek and Roman mythology back in high school. I'd like to thank my sophomore English teacher, who literally had that excuse of, I'm teaching you the origins of words just to cram Greek and Roman literature down our throats, which everyone else did not like and I deeply enjoyed. And then later I lost all my books, and it makes me sad, but I had Japanese mythology books, and I was learning about their stories, like
Lugs. Lots of lugs.
literally one of the sun gods decided to like live in a cave, and was only drawn out by, I'm assuming, was naked woman dancing.
Perfect.
It was so weird.
So the back to the geisha thing.
Well, we brought it back to the Japanese, so that's good.
Yeah. So it was a Japanese thing. It's called a oidan. Oi? Say that.
Now, spell it.
I have to open my phone again.
Phones.
Yeah, but they were kind of like escorts, but different from
The even higher classes. Oh my goodness.
So well,
Okay. Oh, that's Blackfeet Tribe. There's an Amber Alert
oh fun.
for Blackfeet. We're not quite near there. I got 5 upvotes on that. Child abduction emergency. Oh, great. Okay, but you did not.
So it is called an oidan. Oidan.
I don't. How is it spelled?
OIRAN. Oidan.
Where's the D? Oiran.
Oiran.
Oiran. Oiran. No
I'm
D.
adding the D. Oiran.
Yes, you were adding the D. Oiran
So,
names. That's not what I meant.
but
Loving helper.
But
That's
the
beautiful.
difference between them is this is what if you were to go into like if well, hypothetic. Why are you sleeping in a child's bed? Sleep in your bed.
Because of that no, the other thing.
But the difference between a
They're
just like a
high-ranking
regular
courtesans.
no.
Well, it literally says are historically high-ranking courtesans.
Yeah, no, they're high
Japan.
ranking, but they have to have it's very common for them to actually have several like interactions with their clients without having sex. So they would have several like dates pretty much before sex is even initiated, and she has to choose that. And so it's pretty much like, you know, just like a higher escort. It's something that I would, if you were in that case, I wouldn't see you as a geisha. I would see you as, an oiran.
Are you saying me specifically?
If we were in back history, yes.
So, I don't see how I I don't see
Well,
how
I
I
would
would be high ranking.
Well,
it's
popular. Be popular. It doesn't matter. It just becoming
I would be
like
the popular
that.
one.
That becoming like that. That would be if more choice than a geisha. Because a
Okay,
geisha is only just like an escort.
You have to
sold.
spread your legs.
Yes.
They paid for you. Spread your legs.
And
versus, you don't entertain me, so I won't entertain you.
Kind of thing.
You have more bodily autonomy.
When to have, sex, or they want to bond with their client before anything happens, or see what kind of person they are. You're not
We
gonna
all
murder
know
me.
that women. We all know that women love having emotional connection before sex. They don't want. Some just don't because then it gets too complicated and they get too many feels. But generally speaking, in my opinion, women enjoy emotional connection. Emotional connection makes the sex better. There you go.
See.
As a female, I feel like I have some right to say.
A female.
A female. Sorry, you watch too much Tim Tam Tom and Sorrow TV and Nice Guys and Neckbeards
so
and
many
incels. And I love you guys. Love me back. Help me. Help me. No, when I came across it's my top three, well, my top two, sorry, Tim Tam Tom, but my top two YouTubers right now is Jack's Film, still number one. So many original
sponsoring
things.
People, they don't need the help.
No, but I must show my love. Jack's Films, number one, and then Sorrow TV is number two. Because they're beautiful people, and one of them's married, so I'm sad. So. His wife's funny though. She's funny. I like her.
Fun.
2 toes up.
2 toes
Stop it. She's like, stop it. They're not paying us. Why would they?
No, you're just giving them a shout out. You're giving people more information to them. No, I'm joking. Well, kind of is, but
They have millions of subscribers at this point.
it's okay.
I've been there since Your Grammar Sucks beginning-ish, so not quite, handy pin, but
Handy pin.
yeah, it was like a weird pin on a necklace kind of weird thing, and you put it in your mouth and you write with it. It's weird. But it was a skit he made. I love his your versus your raping versus rapping. That was a good one. He had a pedo stash for it too. It was beautiful.
Oh gosh.
He's better. He rocks a beard better than a mustache. Like sometimes you just can't look good in a mustache. Sometimes you can't look good in a beard because you grow a patchy beard. I'm sorry, neckbeards, but no, no, no. If you have patches in your facial hair and it's very noticeable, it's not for you. Beards are majestic, but whatever you would grow is not.
No, whatever you grow is not. Saying my man doesn't have a great mustache and goatee.
Baby face?
He's not babyface anymore.
Oh,
No.
so does he have patchy?
Well, it's not. He has a fully grown like goatee.
But
and
he couldn't grow a beard.
it's in
the
development.
beard part? Is it patchy?
No.
Outside the goatee area?
No.
Or is it growing in fully? Then no, I'm not saying that. Red.
He's not patchy at all.
Will of Whores is okay. Just saying.
It looks good on him, but the one thing that he gets mad at, and he's gonna not like me for this, but it's growing in slowly, is that he has a reverse Hitler stash. He's the one that jokes about it.
It's now on the internet.
It's forever on the internet. It's growing in some hair there, but it's slowly growing in, and he's like, I don't like my reverse Hitler stash, and I'm like, it's forever.
Well, at least it's not a Hitler stash.
And yeah, at least it's reversed.
I mean, poor Charles Chapman, but Charlie
Chapman.
I don't. Yeah, poor him, who also sported it and was definitely a better person. Fight me on that. But it's always
Glad,
been
go
known
away.
for that evil bastard.
Glad you teleported and then reported.
I'm just looking at some of my art. I don't know what I'm doing with my sketchbook anymore. I have a sketchbook and it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be for stuff, right? Oh, I was going to draw them all together. That makes me sad now. But now it's full of stuff that might be for my comics, which I am still avoiding like a plague. Are you still recording just the game?
Yeah, the game's still just recording. You can see what I'm doing.
I just see a cat and stuff. Why is he flirting with you?
Huh? That's not flirting.
Why? Yeah, it says right here, cat sup yo flirt, hey there.
No, I think he's just concentrating on the cat.
You like cats and it's saying so.
Stop.
Now it looks like you're flirting with your sister. We're not in Alabama.
No.
Is he?
No. Brother's not like that. It's all innocent. Till we get strangers that say, "Oh, you guys are a cute couple." That's my brother.
And then you're like, no incest. Hey, do you know where my pencil is?
Hmm?
My pencil. You
Listen.
moved my papers.
It's pretty funny because my brother and I have been called a couple before, and then there's another thing. I've been called his daughter before too.
That's sad. But
I'm like,
I do
how?
remember the time you and Heath Odie went shopping, and one of the cashiers
Yeah.
asked like if you two were a couple, but none of the cashiers, like the same people. I've been there multiple times with Heath Odie, and I don't know. I guess they just assumed we were friends, and you and Heath Odie were the couple.
You know, white on white, man.
Why would anyone want diversity? Why would anyone want to date outside of their race?
I've dated outside my race.
Red, no. Dating non-gingers don't count.
No, I've dated
Oh.
2 black men in my life, 1 Mexican.
Oh yeah, you're just counting up the minority. I have a white friend, so I can call you a Karen. Oh, you hear about that?
I'm not a
Like
Karen.
women, like you know what the Karen is, right? The Karen meme. I
No.
want to speak to your manager.
I'm definitely not that Karen.
No, please. So that's the meme, and so now we generally call any middle-aged woman Karen because, especially if they have a certain haircut, which is hilarious because all Karens have that haircut apparently. Where it's like a female hedgehog kind of haircut. It's weird. Um, but like now they're like, you can't call me a Karen. That's the new N word. It's practically a racial slur. I'm like, that's the most Karen thing I've ever heard. Okay, boomer. Just add a layer to it. But yeah, they're like, you can't call me Karen. That's practically the new N word. I'm like, it is nowhere
Right.
near that. But of
Like,
course, you
one
want to
word
speak to
was
the
more
manager.
abused than anything, so.
Well, I mean, good on you guys for taking a word and turning it into something you refer to each other as in an affectionate way. But I still will never say the slang term for the
What?
derogatory word. I'm half black, so I could say it, but I'm not going to. Basically, the slang where it's ends with an A, inward with an A.
Oh, so you
I
don't
still
use the
figure that
R in it?
I don't use either of them.
You don't make the grr noise?
No, I don't. I don't use either of them because they're basically the same to me. I don't like it.
I.
But my mom was never that type of person. My mom is still the whitest person I know, and I'm referred to as the whitest person people know, the whitest black person they've met. And my mom is darker than me, blacker than me, and
As
whiter
white
than me
as
at the same
I
time.
am, I have said it
I'm breaking
because
your
I
bones.
have. I'm breaking you, but not in like towards anything to be like. It's
It's
mainly
just
towards white people.
wow.
I'm
That is
calling them
definitely going to
this.
get people mad.
Yeah, I
No,
just
it's
not all white
I
people.
was
It's just like around friends. But
yeah,
I
like
like
it's supposed
stopped,
to be the affectionate term, a more affectionate or whatever
and
term.
then
But I'm
like I
like,
just like
it.
I
You better
stopped
stop.
obviously.
You
Like
better.
I was like in a well I haven't like said that in
We
a
all
long
have our
time. It's
stupid
just
phase.
certain yeah I've had lots of stupid phases, but I accidentally said it without the R in front of a black woman. But in my defense, I was distressed and I was calling you know who it because he had my TV.
Uh, well, like I said, that's the whole. You're not supposed to use it because only my race can use it, which is still a weird concept for me. But I don't like using it at all because it originated from the no word. So why would you use a word that is almost like the no word just because
Well,
you've changed it a little bit? I
yeah,
don't like it, so I don't use it. And
yeah, I don't
I do
use
have a
it.
coworker that literally called Hitori that in front of me, and I just kind of stared at him, and he was just like, "Oh shit!"
Oh no.
But he was like, I'm half Mexican and half Irish, and so he was the minority of where I'm working at, and he would always say, "Is it because I'm this?" And so when I first did the "it is because I'm black," he shut it. He didn't know how to respond because he never had the "no you" card thrown down. And so like that tipped a few things. I do have a coworker though that said that he really wishes we could do a podcast, but because I work where I work, we're not allowed to record anything, so there's no way we're doing a podcast.
Yeah,
But just the
I've definitely grown out of a lot of things. Vlad, what are you doing? I've grown
I
out of a lot of things. Definitely
I
matured.
I have not. I'm back to that, rar. I am random rar XD cringe. I've grown back into it with the oh whoa and ooh woo that I do occasionally.
Well, I mean, like, the bad things, because during the time I was looking to get decked, obviously.
We all have our dark times.
Yeah.
You just lived in yours for way too long. But
It took-
my brothers had a weird thing that they did. Well, one of my brothers kind of was always like this, and he straightened out a little bit more, which is great.
Yeah.
But he more or less embraced more of the kind of gangsterish kind of thing, with he liked listening to the rap, and he liked
I like
just
rap
like that
too.
whole puff up kind of personality, acting
Did he
tough
sag
thing.
his pants too?
No, he wore trip pants, so that's the strange thing. I want to wear trip pants. I like the idea of wearing something that's full pants, but you can turn them into shorts whenever you fucking want. And chains and stuff. I'm very much into the gothic, whether it's like a gothic Lolita, femme goth, or a more masculine gothic. I just love the gothic whole thing. If I had the money, my entire wardrobe would be everything I like
You'd be
about
a
the
goth
gothic
girl?
thing. Yes. I was so close to being the goth girl when he thought he was in the military. I was so close, and now I probably never will be. But it would be.
You never know.
But my brother, my other brother, as you know, but these people obviously might not. I have two older brothers. We're all 2 years apart, so my oldest brother is 4 years older than me. So you can understand how fun that dynamic was. I was in the same grade as my older brother, the one that's 2 years older than me. He apparently thought because I was younger that I automatically was dumber than him. So that was fun. He was a creep. Anyway, so this brother, he pretty much like completely denounced the whole like gangster side of it at the beginning, and then we moved up to Whitewash, Montana, and then he started adopting it because now there was only like 3 black people in school.
Like, my brother, which I only have one, he went through so many phases. My goodness.
As white men do.
Is that he went from like a emo to a depressing goth to a depressing gangster to a depressing white boy.
Depressed.
And then
depressed.
there was one when he lived with us for a little bit. He sagged his pants.
Oh, he went jail time, huh?
And then my stepdad told him, like, you know what that means? He never.
You're making yourself available.
You're making yourself available to men. That's what that means.
Or masculine women, if you really want to.
If you really want, there's women who catcall. But he immediately like changed his pants style. He never sagged his pants again. He's like, I ain't gay.
I ain't gay.
I'm gay.
LGBT. No, I do love DMX's song. Which one was it? Well, I'm sorry, I was going through the lyrics in my head. I'm still trying to figure out which one it was. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been up in here, the party up in here, something like that, where he starts off saying that he's not going to associate or even talk to and or like touch gay men or just even if you even if you gave a hand job, he's not gonna even talk or associate to you, basically. And then literally later in the song, he's talking about dudes sucking his dick. And I'm like,
that's why.
boy. Oh, because it was like he's squashing the beef while you're sucking it or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you're sending You're sending mixed messages, and I don't know how I feel about this.
Lenorg?
But yeah, it was just like it's too complicated with these rap songs. They're like, I'm not gay, but if I'm receiving, I guess it's okay. No, it's like an analogy. I understand, but like, don't don't contradict too much. It gets confusing to people after a while when they start understanding what you're trying to say. Um, ugh, what's going on with this person? Very embarrassed.
Yes, she's very embarrassed. I was trying to flirt and got denied. And low brain paler. So, nope. Emptying in our mail.
But yeah, he assumed that whole thing, and it was hard to. It was just hard to be around.
Yeah.
And he was one of those. Like I said, he thought that because he was older than me, he was smarter than me, and then that I had to respect him because he demanded it. Because he was older than me and smarter than me, and thus I had to respect him. And that weird logic, and I was not okay with that.
Yeah.
You can be older than me and still dumber than me. It's
That was English.
It's just mind-numbing sometimes. Why do you have a plate?
What are you wearing? White swimsuit, Irish hat.
Pencil. Yay. Big booty. One of my favorite things is the fact that my father did not like the fact that I like art or just prioritize art over everything else. He kind of just hinted that my art was a waste of time, but then again, he'd turn around and use my art to decorate his home. That was a little confusing. But in high school, he didn't have any he didn't have very much control over what I requested from my uh electives. But he basically said that I was not allowed to have a full 4 years of art, which made me sad and also ended up making me, I guess, learn some other things like anatomy and physiology, which I only remember about 1% of, but that 1% is a glorious 1%. And I can confidently say it's not only about, the reproductive system, even though for some odd reason whenever I was stressed out and had my anatomy and physiology or any science book I had, I end up in that section when I came out of my whole being in my head for too long. It was weird. But yeah, I took that class and then I ended up having an extra credit coming from my middle school days, so I graduated with more credits than I needed to graduate.
Yeah.
So that was bizarre, and that was because for some odd reason in my middle school, they had advanced classes, which I guess isn't unheard of, but I was by no means advanced. I was a lazy fucking student. But because it was Florida, and they have their state test, the FCAT, like the MCAT over in Montana, or whatever it is. And they had the FCAT, and if you got a certain score on all of your tests, which was like a 3.5 or higher, you would be placed in advanced classes because 4.0 was the highest for the FCAT or some bullshit like that. And so, 8th grade, I happened to be put in advanced classes. And I was just like, well, this is a bunch of bullshit because I have a bunch of idiots in the class with me. There was like 3 smart people that took the class seriously, but the rest of them were fucking idiots. I'm sorry to say, I didn't like them. They were loud, they were obnoxious, they never paid attention in class. I was bad, but
Not
I
that
wasn't
bad.
I wasn't that bad. But they were in advanced classes, and my older brother, the one I was in the same grade and with, he was mad because, well, that was a weird way to die. Um, he was mad because he was older than me, and thus he should have been put in advanced classes and not me. And no matter how many times I tried to explain that it was bullshit that I was put in the classes in the first place, and I didn't want to be in the class in the first place, but the reason why I got in the class is because I scored higher on the state test. In theory, just by that standard, I was smarter than him. That's why I got put in the class. And the classes were no different than the standard class. It was not advanced at all. That's why I'm like, it was bullshit. Completely. Um, but that was the start of him, like, later trying to prove that he is smarter than me. Because he was mad because he didn't get put in the advanced classes. Um, but it was my algebra class I took in middle school that gave me that extra credit, that I didn't know about until my senior year. And what I didn't know about my freshman year is that I could have a study hall. I wasn't used to having a study hall. It was just, straight classes, and I thought that was normal. So, freshman year, I just had a bunch of classes. I also got my first and only F in freshman year because I was used to Florida standards and not Montana standards, which, shocker, Montana is a lot harder
Yeah.
than Florida, which I didn't mind at all, you know. That the schooling was a little harder. I just wasn't prepared for it.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, my only F on a report card, not like I failed the class. It was like the like last quarter or whatever I got an F, but it leveled out as a D, so I passed. So my father was mad at me for that, but I technically passed, so suck it. And then it was sophomore year. Two things happened more or less in sophomore year. My older brother went and peeked into the neighbor's window after it snowed, and so he got sent to youth challenge, um, which I hate. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. What happened? And the other thing, sophomore year, is that because I was over at the side of Montana where there was a bunch of oil fields, and so one side of Montana has oil fields, and that's what fuels the economy over there, more or less, and the other side was more so known for wood, the wood industry. Um, and so I was on the one with the oil fields, and it came back up, really was booming when I was in high school, and sophomore year, these people came into um, it was North Dakota, and they came over to my town, and they were driving around, and they saw what would be my Algebra 2 teacher jogging, and um, they kidnapped her and they murdered her, and they went over into North Dakota and they buried her with a shovel they bought from the Walmart over there, and then went and returned. They tried to return the evidence of the burying my teacher.
Oh wow.
And so that was a tragedy that when I went to Job Corps, where I, of course, met my lovely Red over here,
Yeah.
one of the teachers there at Job Corps recognized where I came from because that is where they heard about my teacher. And they're like, oh, did you know this teacher? And I'm like, well, at the time she was my Algebra 2 teacher, and I was doing horribly in Algebra 2. And she wanted to help me, so she offered tutoring, one-on-one tutoring, which she was really nice. I didn't really know her because I had only moved over there freshman year and only met her that year, but she offered that to me about a week before she was murdered.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and she went on a jog every single day. just a beloved woman that was really into personal health and helping her students, and she was just blatantly murdered all because they they were on drugs. It was a horrible waste of a beautiful life, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was awkward because I went there and I went to her funeral, and I hate I hate my older brother. He started cracking jokes at the funeral.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, oh my god, read the room. People are fucking crying and you're cracking jokes at a funeral.
Wow.
Mad. Um, but um, shortly after that, my brother got sent to Youth Challenge, and when it's Youth Challenge is the National Guard's little.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Job Corps of the National Guards. Let's be honest.
I must cringe.
A lot of troubled people. It's a Job Corps if it was a military school, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and if none of you know how Job Corps works, we'll get to that. Definitely get into Job Corps. But when he graduated, he came back and he had this, like, he achieved something kind of air to him. So he said that because he went to Job Corps, and he was smarter than me, of course, and older than me. Yes, I keep bringing that back because he emphasized it about that as much.
Oh yeah.
It was very.
Youth Challenge. You went to Job.
I went to Job Corps. No, when he came back from Youth Challenge.
You keep saying he went to Youth. You keep saying that.
No, I said, well, I'll refer back to. Stop talking to me while I'm on my podcast, you little shit. If I make a mistake, Red will fix it for me. So when he had come back from the Youth Challenge, he was basically like, I have achieved something great, and I'm a better person, but I'm still bigger than you, and smarter than you, and you should respect me because I came back from Youth Challenge. And I'm like, but I remember why you went, you creepy fuck. And later that day, my father walked up to me and said that I couldn't say that to my brother because he was just getting his self-esteem back. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? This dude's saying I have to respect him because he went to Youth Challenge, and and he's saying that he's better than me, and you're just going to go with him. That's the pattern my father always did. My older brother was his favorite, and he made it very obvious. Even though he would joke that his favorite child was the dog, which pissed me off even more. But that was a dog my father didn't even train. He started training it and then left me to train the dog. So I trained the dog, and then I went to Job Corps. And then when I came back, the dog hardly remembered anything I trained her to do because they weren't keeping up with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she still remembered, but she was slower on the pickup of remembering what I taught her. So they were trying to teach her to sit and heel, basically. Lay down occasionally. I was sit, stay, lay down, stay, come, stop, or not stop, sit, stay.
Yeah,
and then
all the like.
this is what that's what I would do before I would give her a single treat. They hold up a treat, she sits down, and they give it to her.
Yeah,
I got it so you snap your fingers, she will sit down.
Yeah.
Non-verbal. And you would hold your hand out and she would stay. You gesture down and she would lay down. That is what I taught her. Heel was a little difficult, but she would do it. 75% of the time she would heel. And then they didn't want to keep up with anything, so she didn't do most of it. So she didn't quite remember to heel, and she was a little slow on lay down. All it takes is 1 year for a dog to not really get used to stuff that you spent 3 years teaching them. Sometimes it's heartbreaking for me to remember it. I tried so hard for that dog. And the only other thing that pissed me off, other than the dog for getting everything, was there was a cat. Um, her name was Brina. She was a tortoise hair cat, and if you know what that is the it's similar to the calico, but the calico's base is white, and the tortoise hair's base or tortoise shell is black. So it's that kind of multicolored cat, but it's black and brown and gold versus white and mostly white and brown and black and stuff. It's complicated and stupid. But she was a tortoiseshell cat, short haired, and she was the bad bitch of the house. Aside from me, I was mom. I'm always mom. I'm always cat mom.
Cat mom.
Um, and so she she was a good cat. She was an indoor and outdoor cat, so half half. She would prefer to spend her days indoor and her nights outside. I do remember. Oh, someone left the stove on. In this game that he's playing, their stovetop is lit and smoking. It's really great. Someone left the stove on. And I remember one time that she caught a mouse and was holding it in her mouth and letting it go and letting it run around a little bit, and then she'd catch it and pick it back up, and I scared her, and the mouse ran under our little makeshift stairs, and she was mad at me for that, but like she was literally torturing this mouse under my window in the middle of the night. I wasn't going to just let her do that. But she was a really good cat, and but she was always punctual. She would always be back every single early morning. She would come back, and my father let her out, and she was gone for days. And then she came back, and she was lethargic and cranky, and she'd been poisoned, and she was basically already dead before my father took her into a vet because her acting strange wasn't an indicator that there might be something wrong. And so while I was at Job Corps, that cat died. And it would have been one thing if it was like a cat my father had before I started living with them. But no, I helped raise that cat since she was a kitten.
Yeah.
I was actually the kitten whisperer, basically. I took care of all the kittens. No one else wanted to wake up in the middle of the night when we found um, three very young kittens in a neighbor's boat. They wanted all the kittens out so they could take the boat out on the water. And we got four of them out. Their names were Venus, Shade, Chester, and well, we gave one of them away, so I don't know the name of that one. The Chester and the one we gave away were orange, long-haired tabbies. And then we had our long-haired black cat Shade and our tuxedo cat Venus, who had a heart on her nose. It was the white part made a heart right at her nose. Um, they were really young, too young, to be removed from their mother, but we needed to get them out of the boat because the neighbor hated cats. So either if we really wanted to rescue the kittens, then we could, or they were just going to take the boat out and drown the kittens. So we saved most of them. We don't know if the other ones got out before they took the boat out. But no one wanted to take care of the kittens in the middle of the night because, like babies, you had to get up and feed them.
Yeah.
Um, so I would do that I think it was every hour or so, every 2 hours or so, I'd wake up and give them kitten formula. And the only way they would calm down is if I ended up sticking my fingers through the little kennel they were in. And Venus, when we first got her, she was both Venus and Shade were very terrified. The only two cats my father kept. Um, they were very terrified when they first got in, but Shade, she hid. I have, of course, long but curly brown hair, and I had them curl my hair down, and she would climb up onto my shoulder, and she would hide in my hair. Um, and I also, of course, like I said, I love the gothic aesthetic, so I wore black, and I had a black skirt, and she felt comfortable enough to lay in my lap when I wore the black skirt. But other than that, she was always hiding. But Venus, she was a fighter, so she was scared, but she scratched the shit out of anyone who touched her when she first came to live with us. And I was told, here, try your luck with this cat. She keeps scratching everyone. And I picked her up and I put her on my chest, and she scratched the shit out of me. But I grabbed her lightly by the scruff so that she'd stop scratching me for a few seconds. And I looked at her in the eye and I said, "You can scratch me all you want. It's not going to change anything." And after that, she became attached to me. She didn't scratch me. Um, she she'd always want to sleep with me. I'd always let her in the room, and she'd end up sleeping on my back or um, in between my legs or something like that. Um, there was a time where my great aunt, she had my mouse problem, and she wanted a mouser, um, but my father wouldn't send Brina, uh, and we didn't think Shade was going to be a good mouser, so Venus was our uh, offering, really. And so Venus did not do very well either because my great aunt had a dog, and Venus was more scared of the dog than wanting to play with the mouse.
Yeah.
But I spent some time with my great aunt, and that was nice. Definitely a lot different than living with my father, but I couldn't stay with her. Uh, and my father wanted her cat or wanted his cat back, so that was whatever.
Yeah.
But after that, she was bonded to me fully. Um, Shade always just wanted in the room to hide under my bed. That's all she wanted to do. Um, and the only other thing is that Shade and Venus was also half inside, half outside cats. But when they would come back and wanted to be kind of let back in, they would jump onto the screen of the window. And by the window, I mean my window. So they came to my window and jumped on it like 3 or 4 times to wake me up and make sure I was coming to let them in. No, they really didn't use anyone else's window until I was gone to Job Corps.
Yeah.
Because I was always there, because I was mom and mom would let us back in. Um, but Venus, oh, Venus was an owl-eyed cat, if you know what I mean. Wide-eyed, always just almost looked like she was freaking out all the time.
On cocaine.
On cocaine. Yeah, so I mean, I love those cats, but also very much love little Winchester. He was Brina's brother. Um, there's a lot of stories of Winchester. Only about two of them really stand out. Winchester is the one nut wonder. When we went to, if you people didn't know about cats, haha. If you don't know about cats, it's hard to gender kittens because nothing really drops or develops like as soon as they're born. It doesn't do that, which freaks out other cats because they can't tell that kittens are cats because they don't have cat bits, I guess. So
You're
it's really
immune.
hard to gender them. So we thought we had two female cats, and we had one female and one male, but only one of Winchester's testicles descended. And so when we went to get him neutered, they tried to find it, so they cut him open, and so it still looked like we had two female cats because we had Brina's spayed as well,
Yeah.
and so they had the same cut and stitches on their stomach. And let me tell you, they still did not find the other knife. It never showed up. And so, that leads to the second one where I was just, I can't remember if I was still in high school or if I was visiting from Job Corps, but I was standing outside of my father's room and he was in the bathroom. So you have to go through his room a bit and it's like an L to go to his bathroom. But I was standing outside of his room in the living room. And I was waiting for him. I knocked and he said he was in the restroom. And I said, okay, well, I need to talk to you. And I was quite upset already. And Winchester was visiting. I will explain what that means. And so he has this high pitched meow, and I wasn't used to it because even Brina's meow was deeper than his, and like she's a fucking female cat. So he has this high pitched meow. He was meowing, just meow, 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 meow at me in the door because he couldn't get to my father's room because the door was closed. And I lost it after hearing that for like 30 seconds of him constantly meowing. And I turned to him and I'm like, Chester! And he looked at me and I'm like, grow up there! And my father was just laughing in the bathroom. And he opens the door. He's like, do you know how messed up that was? And I'm like, what? I'm still irritated and I don't understand the ha-ha of it. I'm just like, what? And he's like, you just told a cat who we had neutered, who only had one nut to start with, to grow a pair. I turned to Winchester and I'm like, I'm sorry. and he just meowed at me and then walked into my father's room. Yeah. So Winchester only visited because back when we had those kittens we saved from the boat, we had the two yellow tabbies were male, and we didn't know that the first one was male yet. All we knew is that Winchester was freaking out about the kittens, and Winchester started marking everything. That should have been our indicator of there's a male in the house and he's marking his territory.
Yeah.
So my father kicks him out. So Winchester's no longer allowed inside unless under very rare circumstances. And Winchester left for quite a while, and he'd come back. And the last time I came back, he was beaten to hell. He had scars everywhere, and he had like an old, like crackly meow. But it was Winchester.
Yeah.
I knew it was Winchester. And I felt really bad for him because it was cold out. And he was practically missing half an ear.
Oh, wow. He
was just beaten to hell. And I obviously have never seen him since. I've never been back to that side of the state, really. That side of Montana. And it was just a sad sight because everywhere I tried to scratch, like his favorite areas, as many cats' favorite areas are, is like the back of his ears, just scabs everywhere from whatever fight he had been in.
Oh, yeah.
And I was worried that I would, try to scratch him and help me, for comfort, and I'd accidentally snag one of the scabs and rip it open again. But if we had known it was just because we had that male cat, then he could have come back and lived with us. But my father didn't care. He started marking, and my father said that once they start, they never stop, which isn't quite true. Once you remove the other male cat, they kind of stop.
Yeah,
especially if they're neutered.
Yeah.
If they're neutered, they're not going to mark to try to find a female. They're marking their territory if there's another male.
Yeah, and females even do the same thing. They mark their territory and stuff.
They spray, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Also sucks. I had to watch Serena, and I still have to watch of Zinger. Because they both do this nervous tail twitch, but Serena was literally terrified of everything. Also a tortoiseshell cat, by the way.
Yeah.
She was terrified of everything, and also was an owl cat. Which we lost her. We don't know where she went. She literally went to jump into one of the windows that had a big tear at the bottom of it, with the window screens, because we would just open up the windows to air out our place. She accidentally jumped out, and she just ran, and we don't know where she went. That was sad. She was a good cat.
Love good.
She would do this nervous tail twitch, and then I'd quickly check to see if she sprayed, and she never did. She was just a nervous cat. Zinger does it too, but I don't see him spraying either. No, he never really sprayed. So
That's what Mary
Weirdos.
does. She does the whole act of I am spraying, but nothing comes out.
yeah,
Invisibly
it's a-
marking her territory.
no, it's a very visible spray. You can see it.
Yeah, you need a.
It's a
black
fine
light.
mist, but when it's coming out, you see it, and when it's freshly applied, you can feel it. As gross as that would be,
But
you want your hand smelling like cat spray.
Spade. So,
Yeah, it reduces the chances of them doing that. They still might do it because it's still marking their territory.
And she does it in certain like corners.
Weird cat.
Yeah,
Well-
she is a weird cat.
Yeah, but I just try to keep an eye out on that to make sure that he's not doing it. But I was told that it's also kind of a nervous tick for some cats.
But she's been through a lot, so she probably
I
does
wasn't
have a
trying to
lot of nervous things.
She might be nervous in certain corners, which is why she does it.
Trying to spray the ghost away. Get away!
Yeah.
But
where is? Oh, there she is, eating right in front of the cat feeder.
I want it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what this podcast program looks like.
No, you'll never get to see what it looks like. I control everything.
Rude.
I'll send you the deets. Oh, she's
You
got
could just show me.
I will eventually.
Yeah, and like I said, if you don't want to talk too much, you can just let me do a story. I
You've
might
been
accidentally.
doing most of it. I feel like you need to vent, and now this is becoming
No.
a venting place.
No, I'm not venting as much as like retelling stories to you because I don't know if you know these
Oh, I
stories
know
or
a
not,
lot
and
of
especially
them.
to the people who do not know it because I've most definitely not met all of the people that could be potentially listening to this.
Right?
Not that there's probably anyone listening at
And
all.
like, it is our first podcast, and this is completely new to us a little bit, except for on our YouTube channel, but we mostly concentrate on the game and stuff like that.
I don't.
Yes, you do. Don't you lie.
No, I don't. No, I'm just. I'm making it so you don't have to use too much big brain power, and I'm just.
Big brain power. Where'd you get this?
The reason why I want to be able to do readings on YouTube, like maybe scary story readings, maybe happy stories. I can't find any fucking happy stories. There's only creepy shit, so whatever. Or Reddit readings. I wanted to do
People
that,
like
but
creepy things.
but when I try to read things, I sound like a fucking robot. There's like no life in it anyway.
Oh, we
So-
can definitely fix that because that takes time because, well, at least you notice it. Like, when I was a kid and I read, which sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, robot, it's back!
Inhale.
It's like, you need to give it more life. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're reading it like it's, robot material, not being Google. But there's
Yeah,
no
well-
other way.
So I want to be able to put like more life into it, but I just can't. Not right now, anyway, for some odd reason. So I just thought me rambling on about non-scripted stuff would be a lot better, feel a lot more natural. Whereas definitely talking to you instead of talking to potentially no
Nothing.
one,
Into the
potentially
void.
no one, the void.
The void.
How are you,
Yes.
voidlings?
And the sea of people.
Yeah. But But potentially talking to no one, but versus talking to you about stuff that you already know about and you just want to hear again because my beautiful voice.
I can't think.
Yeah.
You know, when there's random knocking, shadows that pass by my eyes, and I'm like, wait, what?
When someone farts in the distance, but wait, I'm home alone. Well, I just thought that me being able to listen to my own voice would be beneficial to everything. But
Why'd you swipe dirty dishes?
I know. Over here, well, because she's a kleptomaniac, it doesn't matter what it is, she's going to grab it, even if it's completely worthless.
Yeah, she keeps swiping things from work. Swiped a glass of spoiled milk.
I bet when she first swiped it, it was milk.
Nope, it was spoiled milk.
Righto. Well, I just thought that, just talking about my life would make good enough material for it. The only other thing would be talking about, my theories on Five Nights at Freddy's, or the theories on Five Nights at Freddy's, or
Supernatural
certain
things, or
certain supernatural things, certain Japanese myths, just stuff that I was obviously interested at one point in. Two would be helpful, but my main goal is that apparently my voice is soothing enough to, when someone is at the very least in distress and I'm talking to them, it calms them down, or if they're sleepy, it helps them fall asleep. As I know about Heath 30, he either finds me extremely boring or extremely soothing, and I always try to look on the positive side of things, so I'm probably boring. Anyway, you just sighs.
I don't think you're boring.
No, I have some stories. I'm going to laugh if any of my family members finds this podcast because I am talking shit about everyone.
Yeah, I know if I talk smack about, a certain someone, I will never hear the end of it.
Yeah. That's what you get for people pretending they care. Is it your mom?
How dare you? Yeah, it's my mom.
Well, you're not going to talk smack about her. I'm sorry, I called her an it. Same in my mind. As I like to say, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the waters of the womb. So, fuck me.
I don't know.
If no one understands what that means,
grounded.
Same. Same. No. It's clear. It's just a saying that the bonds you make through life, through friendship, and
I thought you were going to say coronavirus.
I was going to say camaraderie, but basically comrades you make through life. Those bonds are stronger and mean more than just being born into a family or a situation. Because some of us can understand the statement of family is shit. There are some family members that are the most abusive people in the world and will basically force you to think that they are not abusive because they are family, or make you think that you have to have them in your lives because they are family. And you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. You don't have to. You get to choose stuff in your life, surprisingly enough. And you can choose to not have those people in your life if you don't want them to.
You gotta do what's best for you and what's healthy and what makes you happy. Not
think of it like this. They've lived their life, apparently. And they've made their choices. Now it's your turn. They can't live their life through you.
Yeah, it's not Sims. They can't control you.
We play Sims because we want to control people.
This is why we play Sims, so we don't control people.
Get your mom Sims today, so she'll be more distracted in controlling other people's fucking lives. Sorry. But you don't have to, if your family members are good people and they're great and they don't try to guilt trip you or manipulate you or gaslight you or any of that, then great, have them in your life. But if you're one of us, if you're like Red or if you're like me, Koneko, and you have family members that are just toxic and spiteful and hateful and gaslight you and say you're the problem all the time when you're not, when you're just trying to get by, when you're just trying to live your fucking life, and then you don't have to have them in your life just because they're family.
Yeah.
You never. It's like, I never asked to be born. You don't have to continue being like forced to be stuck with them.
Yes.
They can't force that upon you. They can keep harassing you, and that's what restraining orders are for. That's what cease and desists are for. There are legal ways, even if they're family and you don't want them around, that you can legally say, get the fuck out of my life. You have a piece of paper saying you are harassing me, you are abusing me, and I don't want you near me.
And we definitely
you can hold that up in court and say, I sent this out and told them to stop. They won't. That's a continual harassment. Do something about it.
And we definitely understand that the point, like, it is hard to sometimes break those bonds because it's a life you're used to, or it's just there's certain things that can be dangerous and you're scared of what can happen, but
or they convince you that you need them.
Yeah.
If that they've beaten in your head for years that you need them.
You just gotta also like, you know, remember that you have a choice and that, you know, it can get too late because there is a lot of abuse and a lot of things that lead to just death, period. And a lot of innocent lives that are taken that way. And it sucks because they try to be good people, but they think that they're bad because that's how they've been treated and that's how what they're been like manipulated into believing. Like, I used to believe that, you know, that men only liked me for my body. And that I also hated my body. I hated me in general as a kid. And I thought the only way that anybody would like me is through a sexual way. And that led me into abusing my body, that led me into letting others abuse my body sexually, and it was bad because I felt like that's the only thing I deserved in life, to be treated like shit because I was raised in environments where I was abused physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, and it affected my life a lot. It took me 19 years to actually get to a point of like, oh my gosh, I don't hate myself fully. And I actually do deserve better. And it took me to have a bad roommate situation and a manipulating and kind of abusive thing to happen to me again that wasn't caused by me fully. I do take responsibility for my actions in some incidents, but it's still not what I deserved. I don't deserve to be beaten or manipulated or mocked or be told that I'll be alone, I'll die alone, or I'm only good for sex, and I'm like, you know, I'm never going to meet up to anything, or I'm going to be a druggie, or I'm going to be a whore, or I'm going to be an alcoholic. And I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a druggie. I'm, you know,
She's red.
I'm red. I became more nurturing. I care way too much than I should sometimes.
I think what you should aim for is everything you wanted but never got.
Yeah, and like one of my goals is, and sorry in advance to my egg donor,
Oof.
that one of my goals as a kid, once I started understanding certain things that were happening, is that I wanted to be a mother that I didn't have. And that was a big thing in my life. It still is a goal in my life, is I want to be a mother that I never had. And I know that's like a really big stab, but my mother has admit that she wasn't the best mom, and that's our even ground at that point. But you know, there's still things that I don't agree with my mom on, and there's still a lot of things that disappointed me. But I still love her. She's still somebody I grew up with, somebody I grew to care for, no matter all the things that she chose to do that affected both of our lives, affected the child in her life, the children in her life. Sorry, there's two of us. And you know, it sucks, but you can become a good person. It doesn't matter. Your story is there, it can be told, but your story, you develop from it. You can develop into a bad person, you can develop into a good person, you could develop to be that mutual person who's just like, yeah, life. You have choices.
I want to put a disclaimer out. I hate my father.
I hate mine too.
There's some good times, but
yeah, there's always some good
there's some good times, but those small amount of good times don't outweigh the overwhelming bad. I personally didn't like feeling like, because I was the only female in the household, the only woman in the household, that what I said and what I did didn't amount to shit. When I thought I was doing something which someone with a brain would go, yes, that makes sense. Yes, you were doing the right. I was always treated as if I was in the wrong or subpar. Let's take for example. We're back on my story, so enjoy. My oldest brother, he turned 21, and he had a friend who wanted to drink with him, also 21. I assure you, they were of legal drinking age at this point.
Are you sure?
Well, there might have been some underage drinking.
I was underage drinking.
Well, there's certain places have certain laws, like the parent has to be home and then it's okay, or the parent has to be home and then the minor can't leave, etc. So my brother was visiting. He doesn't live in the state in Montana where my father lives. He lives in Nebraska. So he was visiting for his 21st birthday. And his buddy came over and he wanted a drink. And so already I was just keyed into someone's babysitting. It's probably going to be me. I'll just put it as me. So I made some soup, some of those dehydrated boil water then added in soup. Just of a heartier chicken noodle, maybe a few little vegetables in there, but something fairly light, you know. And some crackers. And his friend was like, "Here, I made you this drink, and then you need to chase it with this." And my brother didn't drink that much beforehand anyway, minor or otherwise. He just had a little bit of something, felt a buzz, and then kind of quit. So basically, as bad as an influence as Red is on me. Anyway.
Hey. Get out of here with that.
Get out of here with the truth.
I'm not bad influence.
Yeah, just drink this. I want to see you drunk. I want to see if you're funny. Thanks, Red.
Not. I never said anything about funny. I said
You wanted to see what kind of drunk I
loosey-goosey.
was.
Yes.
You wanted to see what kind of drunk I was.
Drink
And the answer is drink I was. And the answer was no.
No, lies.
I'll explain that one as well. So he started drinking. And then at a certain point he got drunk. He was just drunk. And so the funny part was watching him try to get onto his PlayStation, into his account, and he went to play Dark Souls, but did the Dark Souls where it was versus another human, like, so that little, you've summoned someone into your area and you fight them or whatever. So first he turned on his PlayStation, but when he turns on his PlayStation, he has to put in his little password. And so he couldn't figure out how to put in his password. He was getting it wrong. So he declared that he was too drunk to log into his account. And then a few minutes later, he logged into his account, in which he declared that he was not too drunk to log into his account.
Radical.
First, he went onto Facebook, couldn't get onto Facebook, and then declared that he was too drunk again. Got into Facebook, then declared he wasn't too drunk again. He did this a lot. Then he finally went into a match on Dark Souls. He won the match, surprisingly enough. And his statement was, "Oh, that was pretty mean how I killed him," which was how he usually kills them, which is like tried to get behind them and then does his attack. Comedy. And so the friend then basically was like, hide the drinks, no more for him. And so my other brother was there. And my other brother, my older brother, 2 years older than me, he had been on Facebook on a laptop the entire time this was happening. He wasn't doing shit, except he took the alcohol and put it on the other side of him. But my oldest brother was like, I'm not drinking anyway. I'm good. So note also, I had cleaned the entire house for the coming of my oldest brother. So everything was clean. And so my brother, after that round, went, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And which the friend kept apologizing to me. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to get him this drunk. I didn't know he was gonna get this drunk. I'm so sorry. His friend was drunk as well. So
yep,
so that was great.
Apologizing drunk.
The apologizing drunk, yes. And so I was like, it's fine. And so my brother had been very quiet. My oldest brother had been very quiet in the bathroom quite some time. And so I went to check on him, and I knocked, and there was no response. And I knocked again, a little louder, and there was no response. And so I believe I think I can't remember if it was me or the friend. One of us. I think it was me. I opened the door. No, it was the friend. He opened the door and he's like, "You okay, buddy?" Because, my brother's taking a shit. I don't want to see anything unpleasant. And then I just hear my oldest brother go, "I'm not gonna throw up," and then immediately puked all over the clean bathroom floor and the rug.
Oh.
And so I'm like, I just fucking cleaned that. And then okay, so note, once you puke out most of the alcohol, you're not really a threat for alcohol poisoning because the alcohol is out of your system. It cannot continue to poison you. Disclaimer. Typically, there might be a slight chance, but that, in this case, it was not that. So my older brother decides this is the time to kick into action, and he helps the friend, my oldest brother's friend, drag my oldest brother out of the bathroom, which he was taking a shit. So they didn't pull his pants up, they just kind of drag it along.
Oh no.
With his ass showing, so that was great imagery for me. And then tossed him on the couch, which he was going to sleep on anyway, more or less. And so he was trying to go to sleep, He had just puked, everything was out, he was all good. But my older brother kept, like shaking him and like poking and prodding him and nudging him and trying to make sure he stayed awake. And I was like, "Why are you doing that?" He's like, "I don't want him to die of alcohol poisoning." I'm like, "Just leave him the fuck alone. He's tired. Leave him alone." And so I'm like, "Great. Now I have to clean up this fucking mess because who else is going to do it?" So I take the rug out back and I'm cleaning it, and eventually, my the oldest brother finished cleaning it because he's the one who puked on it. But at the time, it needed to be done. All those pretty colors on it. And so my father had been out partying also, so he didn't come out back until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we were all still, mostly all of us were still awake. Um, and my older brother was bossing me around, and I'm like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? He's like, I'm in charge here now. Now that shit hit the fan, I'm like, he just puked. It's not a big deal. Drunk people, when they drink too much, puke. Okay? And so I was just all pissy because, now I'm the only one doing shit once again because my older brother went back to playing on the fucking computer, onto Facebook and shit. So my father comes home and I'm just like, hey, can you believe this shit? He's like bossing me around and he's not doing shit. My father goes, oh no, your brother's in the right. Leaders don't have to do anything. They observe. And so your brother had all the right to basically just boss me around. And I'm
That's not a leader. That's just
Are you?
boss.
Are you fucking shitting me?
What?
You really have the gall to go and say that I was basically the subordinate because I was the one who, made sure there was some food in my fucking brother's stomach, even though he puked it up later, and making sure he didn't hurt himself by doing anything stupid, and then cleaning up stuff quickly because it was a time sensitive thing. You don't want the nice carpets to stain. It was the shower carpet. You don't want it to stain. You know, I wasn't being a leader by doing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
That is bullshit. And so, that was my father's logic. My brother could do no wrong, except for when he, peeked into the neighbor's fucking bathroom. As it turned out, it wasn't her bedroom; it was her bathroom. That's creepier.
Yeah, that's worse.
Um, and the neighbor didn't really find out. There was literal footsteps from our back door to the neighbor's window and back in the snow. There was a good 1.5 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah, you choose the worst time to go peep on somebody.
Yeah. And so I was just like, that's bullshit. Um, the other time, this is the last time I even gave a shit about what my father had to say. My older brother was a creep. I've debated this before because he looked at the neighbor's windows. But what he also did, senior year, he was part of speech and drama. So he was there for the freshman inauguration, basically. The freshmen coming in. And our school made a big deal of it.
Mm-hmm.
For us, there was donuts and stuff, but the school is not that big as much as there's 2 specific hallways that loop a specific way. That could be very confusing. And I also ended up in the welding shop instead of the art room at one point on my first day. That's how confusing it was. Because you actually had to go through the woodworking shop to get to the art room.
Yeah.
And I thought that the welding shop was the woodworking shop, and they were next to each other. I hated it. But he went to there to try to convince some of the new freshmen and new students to join speech and drama. Typical normal high school stuff. And he sees this chick. She's very pale skin, but she has like black hair and she had snake bites and blue eyes, beautiful blue eyes. And he when my brother got home, he told me all about her. And he said he talked to her, and they hit it off really well. They were good friends then. Um, the creepy part was that he described her in such detail as I described her to you. That the next day, which is the first day of school for everyone else, when I met her in my art class, because we had art together, I knew who she was. And so I went up to her and I'm like, "Hi, my name is so and so, and I know I heard you met my brother yesterday, blah blah blah." And she's like, "Who?" I'm like, my brother, so and so. He has this, curly hair and a fucking big nose. He has an ugly nose. Sorry, I have my mother's nose. Nice little thing here.
Beep, boop.
Little boop boop. And he has a big honkin' thing, which does not do him any justice. Like, it does not help him at all. It just makes him look ugly. It almost looks like someone broke his nose. It's bad. And so I'm like, "Oh, this." He said, "You guys talked yesterday." She's like, "Well, yeah, but all he did was say hi and then awkwardly mumble next to me." So, so my brother decided he liked her and that he was going to date her. And so she started going out with this other dude, and this is what he would do. He would go and one instance, there was a football game, and this chick was sitting with her boyfriend at the time, and my brother went up to them and he sat in between them and started talking to her.
Yes.
So obviously pretty fucking creepy. Didn't see a problem with it. She broke up with that dude, for reasons that I either was never told because I never really cared. You can have your reasons, I don't care. Or I just forgot because and so she started going out with a mutual friend of my brother and mine. Friend we'd had since freshman year. I only had two friends that I had since freshman year, both dudes. Both in their names started with S. That was pretty cool. And they were friends until about junior year. Then they were basically fighting or something. None of them would hang out with me because I wouldn't smoke weed. It was sad. They said I would be a buzzkill if I hung out with them.
Rude.
Sad. But she started going out with this one friend, a friend that I ended up another branch story. Sorry, we ended up married in a marriage unit freshman year, which hilarity ensued later. And so she started going out with this friend of mine, and my brother was really mad because he, and I quote, he had seen her first, and that meant he had the right to date her, and our friend should not have dated her because he called dibs.
That's not how life works.
That's not how it works. And so I just was like, "What?" And then, my father walks in. He's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And my brother does the whole spiel all over again. How she dated him, and or she dated our friend and not him, and he had seen her first, so he had called dibs on her. And my father goes, "Yeah, your friend really shouldn't have gone out with her if he knew that you were interested in her."
Again, that's not how life works. I'm sorry to say, folks.
And so I'm like, "Oh yeah, she should have dated the creep instead of." No, well, the other dude wasn't, he wasn't, like the best dude in the world. He did knock up this one chick and then basically say he didn't want to be a father and didn't really want anything to do with her or the kid. But afterwards, he did send gifts and try to do visits with his daughter. So that was nice. He's a good dude. He just was young and when he first decided that, but
You know, it took a minute, like all of
I
us.
I I went and visited like a year later when she was still in high school. She didn't drop out because of the baby. And she said, "No, he sends gifts, and I'm glad I had a talk with you about whether or not I should try to force him to be in our daughter's life because you were right. I feel like if I had tried to force him, he would have ran instead of being any part. And he sends toys and tries to come over because he went to the other side of the state to get away from his family, not to get away from
His new
the
family.
baby mama. Yeah, not from the baby mama and the baby. Um, but he was more willing to be a part of that since he wasn't being like forced to be a
No,
part
no
of it.
one likes to be forced into things.
Yeah, and so but as far as I know, um they had dated for even years afterwards after high school. So kind of like high school sweetheart. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they go together, but he decided that he was not going to use Facebook, and lo and behold, he said that the only social media he would use would be MySpace. And I only remembered my MySpace username and password once.
I
So
don't.
to
I've
message
never
him, and they
had a
completely forgot.
MySpace.
MySpace was so cool at the time. You know how Facebook has like some games on it, and you
Yeah.
go to a separate page. There was like certain games you could play on MySpace, and they had their own specific page too. But it was like part of your personality, and one of them was like the fish tank kind of thing. You could collect and decorate and shit. It was pretty cool. And you could have a playlist of songs you like with pictures and collages and stuff. It had a lot more character than Facebook.
I see.
I do a poor way of describing it, but it was pretty cool. He also had an ability to have this weird pet thing. It was like a Neopad or something.
Yeah.
Not a Neopad. Can't remember what it was. Like a just an online pet you could have and dress up and shit. It was pretty cool. But it was the shit before Facebook. I'm surprised Facebook took off better than MySpace, to be honest. But uh, I don't know how well he's doing, but I'm thinking he's doing pretty well. Haven't heard that he died from the father that I'm awkwardly friends with on Facebook. Um, I don't know why I'm friends with him because he's nothing against either political party other than political parties suck. Um, but he's almost very extreme conservative, and it makes me uncomfortable at times. But I don't, I don't fight with him on anything because it's his belief.
Yeah.
Um, and it's nothing too off the wall, especially when it's like they wanted to basically make it like he was making posts out like they're trying to abolish the Second Amendment and get rid of it and take our guns from us. Like, calm down. Literally can't do that. You're really going to tell me they're going to attack the Bill of Rights, the first 10 that are for the people against the government? Really? You think that's not going to raise some red flags to some people? And then we have California trying to leave the United States. It's fine. We have like a few little um, providences we can make. We can make one of them a state and still be the 50 states. It's fine.
Yes.
That was a joke. But certain things make me uncomfortable. I had a family member I kicked out of my life because basically, and this is a touchy subject, and I don't give a shit because I have a right to really talk about this. This family member of mine, he did not, and you'll understand why. Basically, he said that women should not be allowed to have abortions because if they didn't want to have a baby, they should have kept their legs closed.
Hmm.
I'm like, yes, men can want to have sex and not have to deal with the consequences. But heaven forbid a woman is not ready. to deal with something that really does it more than just like it's more than just growing a life in your body. This life feeds off of you even if you don't feed properly. If you don't eat properly, that baby will still have its nourishment unless you are life and death situation. So if you eat just enough, you're gonna feel the effects.
Uh,
And there are some life threatening things, and some people think that a certain level makes it so you can't have it at all. I'm sorry, but when it comes to this woman, I don't know too many other specifics, but this woman, she her the baby had attached to the wall the reversed way and accidentally kicked off and detached and died. The baby was already dead, and the hospital would not help abort the dead fetus out of the body because the mother was dying. They basically wanted the mother to die with the baby.
that's wrong.
It is wrong. But all this dude could say was is that if a woman isn't ready to be a mom, then she shouldn't have sex. And I made the example of Markiplier specifically. His mom was on like trying not to get pregnant, really. 3 different forms of birth control. And still had Mark.
Oh,
You can have all the birth control in the world, and as Jurassic Park dictates, life finds a way.
Yes.
But if someone isn't ready, you can't force them. You should never force someone if they're not ready. And that's why it's important to remember that people have autonomy over their bodies, whether or not they're female or male. And so I blocked that family member because that was some toxic shit that didn't belong in this world, in my opinion. You can't say that a woman should keep her legs closed and not have sex.
Like, that's some
If
people's jobs, too. Those some women's jobs that actually feed them and whatever family members that they have, so...
it should be noted that prostitution is illegal in America, but is not illegal in Canada.
You know.
It's not illegal in certain places.
Yeah, that's...
So just because prostitution is illegal here doesn't mean that women are disgusting because they do prostitution. That's not how that works. It's the oldest profession because it's a need. It's not a want. After we hit a certain age, our body craves it. And sometimes people ignore their cravings. And sometimes people want to be able to help others be able to meet that need. Don't be mad. Don't be an incel.
like...
To feel like you're entitled to sex and you should not have to degrade yourself and have to pay for it. You know, incels, they're just, some of them are just disgusting. Some of them think that the state should issue women like their object because they can't get laid. That's disgusting. But people that are they just haven't had sex and they just, I don't know. Sometimes it's the mentality, sometimes it's presentation. Sometimes you're just going after the wrong people. But you should never try to say that women shouldn't have rights and I should be able to have a woman like it's just sex toys and blow up dolls that you clearly have in your rooms.
You know, they develop those toys for reasons.
Some of them I do not condone of, but the theory of why they're created is a sound one. I believe I read somewhere, and this could be false, not everything on the internet is true, but there was someone who was developing sex dolls that were for people who aren't, legally able to have sex, if you understand where I'm going with it. And they made it so that those people wouldn't be so depraved that they would attempt to destroy other people's lives. While I don't like the idea of a child looking sex doll, it's not a horrible reason to have one made in existence if it's used properly. I don't like it, but it's better than the alternative, what they were trying to, or at least justify the creation of for.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're moving on from that.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Heath. I want some crunchies, but I do not want something too heavy. I have Frosted Flakes off-brand.
Frosties.
Off-brand sounds like pornography. Yes, I always wanted something to hurt my teeth.
Oh.
Why do you think I looked up and said Frosted Flakes? That's fine, I'll eat these.
No.
It's mostly powdered. I'm eating clusters.
I want to record a scary game.
6 more minutes. That's all I gotta live.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I know. So needy. But I'm going to wait
I
until
thought you
she
said
gets
we couldn't. Thought you said we couldn't stay up too late tonight. Or was that tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's tonight.
Yeah, that's
Because it's
tonight.
after midnight.
Yeah.
Yep, it's 1 in the morning. Well, that's tonight. You can't stay up.
Yeah, tonight I can't.
You just have the stuff to do Monday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Woo.
But
Well,
I'm gonna wait until her children are born.
You know, she's having twins?
Hoping she's having twins.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping she's having twins. She
So-
proposed though.
She's big. Thought she was big before she big.
You baby.
So, how are we gonna do this?
We can exit out. So I don't know.
Well, crunchy.
Well, if you, whoever dares to listen to randomness, and she swiped a novel,
I'm stealing novels.
to leave comments, suggestions, what we should talk about if you want. Not, if you like listening to us just talking about random things, about important things, about non-important things, about, our opinions about things, which are simple, really. More of like leaning towards we're good people. Well, I believe is good. But oh, we're going into labor.
Not again.
We're going to go have boo-boos. No, just you.
Use the poppy.
So I think we can end this podcast with having babies.
Having babies.
And I believe everybody has a choice to love their lives in a great creative way. Just remember and think through some of your decisions, because there's a lot of things that people don't think through, and they make it and then they want to go back, and sometimes sometimes you can't. So
Sometimes you can.
sometimes you can. It all depends on situations. But I'm Red.
I'm Koneko.
And I hope you enjoy our podcast.
You did not sign in, but we're signing out.
We're definitely signing. Because I didn't know what to sign into besides just start talking.
Just start talking.
And we're going to be ending the podcast with birth.
With life.
Because pro-choice is a thing, but I do believe that, like, going back on the subject for my opinion is, I believe that life should be given a chance at a certain age. Because if the embryo is a certain size where you could just not be pregnant through just a pill, because they can do that, but when they have to rip the child out of you piece by piece is kind of horrifying. In my opinion.
you know why they have to do that, right? Because in the beginning, Christians didn't think that women that chose to abort the pregnancy should have a right to have a full baby to mourn over. Yeah, that's how it originated. That barbaric way was demanded.
I did not know that.
That's what happened.
Now
They didn't want the people who chose that they did not want. Does that say Ishmael?
That does say Ishmael.
Damn it.
I just randomly went through names and it went to Ishmael.
Fuck. That. Anyway, that's how that's why we have that procedure. They did not feel like anyone who did not choose life should have a full body to mourn over. And now it's considered a barbaric way to do it, but
yeah.
What is that phrase again? Oh yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh yeah.
So sorry, but that's how that happened. That wasn't how doctors thought it would be the best way to do it. They thought the best way to do it was out whole, so that
right back on the baby.
So that the baby could go into an actual, fucking maybe baby casket, or whatever way that the choice happened. Uh-oh.
That's
been called out.
Baby.
I was about to say, don't put it on the ground.
No,
where's the baby?
It disappears back home. Go home. You got 2 boo-boos.
That's messed up.
So they're both boys, by the way. If you didn't notice.
I was off on my own little tangent.
Yeah,
basically, I feel like bodily autonomy is an important thing to have. You should be able to choose what you want to do with your own body. And whereas you can argue that, well, when you're pregnant, it's not just your body. As soon as science catches up to where it needs to be, then maybe we can have the best of both worlds, where you don't have to end a life if you're not ready for a life. But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're almost there. They did grow a lamb in an artificial
But
womb.
nowadays, our birth controls are a lot more advanced than your example that Mark's mom, like, was, like, on different birth controls to, prevent pregnancy. Like, my mom was on different birth controls and my brother still came out. But since it's amazing how our medical science and all of our medical stuff and how much it's upgraded. So, if you're not ready for a baby, I suggest going on a birth control that you're comfortable with and that works with your body. Because if you're not ready for a baby, there's things to prevent it instead of getting pregnant, having an abortion, getting pregnant, having an abortion, because that's rough on your body.
Yes, but also, if any of you viewers are on in any of those special cases
Yeah.
where it was not your choice in the matter of the activity that caused it, there is. We are not judging you
Yeah.
or
But
your choice.
I'm not saying like that, you know, things happen. Like, and it's your judgment how you want to approach these things. Like, say if I got pregnant, I'm definitely raising my baby. I love my baby, no matter what about my baby. Because I want a baby, eventually. I'm just responsible in my situation because I want to be a responsible, little bit stable mom before I have baby. And so I
Thank
want
you,
to take
Abby.
my time to enjoy my life young, because I've seen a lot of young moms that still want to live that, you know, party life, and they just drag their kid right through it. And sometimes that's not good for a kid's life.
But
And then
I
I
do
also
have
had
one more
my
thing, though.
mom thing, so.
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
You cannot be pro-life just until birth. You cannot be pro-life and then go now suffer through it like the rest of us. That's wrong. And what that means is that, albeit it was a little comic strip, but comics are statement, just goofy looking statements, if you will, of people saying uh, a mother being pregnant, and they're cooing basically at the stomach, going, "Oh, we're gonna protect you," and then after the baby is born, they just go, "We're not going to help support the life." Basically, like, get a job, and you, if you weren't ready for this child, you shouldn't have had it, and we won't give you the resources needed to for the child. Don't be like that.
Yeah, that's.
You want to be pro-life, be pro all life.
Yeah, all life matters. Animals, humans, insects, to a certain
That's
extent.
not quite what I meant. I meant throughout life.
Even our Earth. Pro life it.
Damn it, Ren.
I know what you mean. I'm just.
Don't do this to me, Ren.
I'm being serious. Sorry.
Okay, so good news. The Amber Alert has been canceled, and the child has been safely located.
That's good.
Yeah,
So,
that's nice.
That's also a good thing to end this video on.
Yeah.
Or
Had
this
2 babies and
podcast
found a
or
baby.
whatever. Two babies and a child was found safely.
Yeah.
Well, see you next time, unless you hate us. Then we'll see you anyway. Because we're spiteful bitches.
We're stubborn.
I am anyway. I'm spiteful.
I'm just stubborn. Anyways, have a good night, guys.
Good night.